step in the line, boom, now you're having a bad time. You're fucking with the beat to the A, set the G to the B. Motherfuckers raise the beat and eat. Take it to a place, a different state of mind, with the tunes and the rhythm and its own fast rhymes. Come on! Your worst nightmare! Your worst nightmare! Putting suckers in fear, ain't nobody coming right here. Putting suckers in fear, ain't nobody coming right here. Your mind plays tricks and makes you see flicks, all through a free lens. An infinite number of stories with no beginning or end. And those unfortunate enough to get trapped between the fire. You can't escape the funk genius that is about to transpire. Your worst nightmare! Your worst nightmare! Putting suckers in fear, ain't nobody coming right here. Putting suckers in fear, ain't nobody coming right here. Fuck it! What? Yeah! Come on! What? Yeah! Come on! We out.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, viewers. It is incredible to have you with me tonight here for another inauguration series through ASA, and that would be the Pro Series here tonight. Round one for the Enduros of the World Endurance Championship, and it is part and parcel to say that a lot of these drivers out here tonight are going to be quick, and I bet probably not as quick as some of them are in the old bedroom, but nonetheless, it's going to be a beautiful event here tonight. I'm Zach O'Reilly, your commentator for tonight, all alone in the commentary box. Unfortunately, Lindsay Muddle is out and about working like he should, but you've just got me tonight there for this evening. It's a beautiful season. It's a beautiful spectacle as well. Bahrain, we're at the endurance circuit, which is a bit strange. It's not the one that we're all used to, I guarantee you. We're all used to the either the outer loop in Formula One or the normal inner loop, but this is a massive circuit, nearly 7 kilometres to be exact. It's just ridiculous. Mount Panorama sort of length here tonight, and it's going to be great to be along the ride with you here for the whole thing. Will people stay on track? Will we see some trials and tribulations in motorsport? I'm not too sure. But in saying that, it doesn't matter, because it all boils down to this event. Got to get off to a flyer in the Enduro Series. We've got so many cars out on track at the moment, as you can see there on your timing tower. It says we've got 26 in total. We've got 13 hypercars on the circuit, and then we have got 12 GT3 cars there as always. So this is a big grid, ladies and gentlemen. It's what you want to see, and the absolute difference between pace in all of them is ridiculous. You're looking at lap times at the moment. 2:11s are on the board here for the races, and then 2:27s for the quickest guy, Shawnee Jacobs, there in this man in the BMW, doing 2:27 8 to round out his grid. Mind you, he's got Jeremy Talbot right behind him there, sitting away in only a tenth and a half off in terms of distance. So could be pretty close there for the rest of them. And the mid-pack in the hypercar class is also looking pretty racy. Not where you want to be for Mr. Gregory Olsen, but the boys are coming in for their driver's briefing at the moment. So while they're doing that, I think it's time that we start getting teed up, and we'll go through the formations and all the celebratory stuff coming towards us at the end. But for now, let's go racing. Here we are tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go racing indeed. Not sure what happened with the background there, but we are at Bahrain, the Endurance GP circuit. 24 turns in this one. Twisty as midsection, 6.29 kilometres. Qualifying tonight is 15 minutes for each class. So we've got hypercars on the circuit doing their 15-minute run, then the GT3s, and then the biggest event of the night is the 120-minute we've got coming our way. 2 hours in the hour department coming our way. It's going to be brilliant as well. These are your entrants for the series so far. We've got 13 different manufacturers on the circuit. Porsche, Ferrari, Lexus, Lamborghini, BMW, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Toyota, Alpine, Ford, McLaren, Aston Martin, and Isotta there as well. And some of those manufacturers cross in between two classes. Also, I actually forgot. No, Lexus is in there. Very good. Hypercar class, you can see there. Hugo Sutherland, Chris Fraser in a BMW and Porsche. And you got Nando Latanzio in the Isotta, Eric Chandler in a Ferrari, Stephen Tyne, another Porsche, Alpine for Greggy Olsen, Peter Wall in the Cadillac there. Three of them on the field, in fact. Matt Webb in a Lamborghini, Alex Olive in the Porsche. Ferrari for Mohamed Colombo, strategical genius that guy is at some point, but keeping it familiar. Tom Jones in the Toyota. Gee, that guy's got a good nickname. Georgie Fowler in the Isotta as well. Then we've got BMWs for Benny Vintner. Toyota for Anthony Jeffries, Nick De Silva, Connor Carruthers in Porsches and Alpines, and then Harry Lawrence in the Cadillac there as well. The LMGD3 classes, Max Ricker in the McLaren, Stephen Martin in the Aston Martin, Kurt Moss, Jeremy Talbot, BMW and Lexus respectively, Tim Purcell in the Ferrari, Adrian Rice in the McLaren as well, Ethan Payno in the BMW, Kaz Nadeem in the Ford, good to see him. Liam Brooks as well in the Aston Martin there. Also, Shawnee Madison in the familiar Corvette for him. Sam Austin in a Porsche. Shawnee Jacobs in a Lexus. Ben Collins, Lamborghini. Porsche for Phil Rando. Greg Brock in the Lambo as well. Lewis Vander, I would say that is in the Mustang. We've got the Corvette again. We've got the Ferrari for Marcus Johnston in the Ford. Martin Glastonbury and in the Ferrari, and Ricky Packman takes out the final positions there for the rest of them. And we can see a little bit of a lull in proceedings as these gents are all in the pits now having their driver's briefing. What would be going through their head? I can tell you it's probably something to do with cogs grinding their way through their heads if they're listening. If they're not, I tell you what, they'll be getting nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs by the time they get out for qualifying. And who are we going to see out first? It's up to the drivers' driving standard briefings instructions. And our race directors tonight, we've got Shawnee Brimblecombe and Sam Austin doing that in the background. So hats off to them. It's a big thing. They've gave up their seat on the circuit, and now they're having a crack watching it from abroad. It's probably a little bit funner there if they're not caught up in incidents. Watching everything else happen around the circuit is much more relaxing coming from an ex-racer myself here in the fair dinkum department. But nonetheless, it's good to see Flop and Benjamin in the chat as well tonight. This circuit is going to be something, that's for sure, Floppy. I'll tell you what, with that inner chicanery, that could be very, very hairy indeed. Benjamin, let's go Team McLaren. Well, boy, oh boy, they've got some races here tonight. It's going to be very good to see those guys go around as well. What will we see from them in the pace department? It's going to be interesting. Shawnee Jacobs provisionally is your hero for the GT3 class in the BMW. Provisionally off P1 for the practice heroes, and you got Nick De Silva right next to him, P1 and P1 in the next garages. That's pretty good stuff from him in the Penske livery car there of the Porsche for Nick De Silva. He's 3/10 quicker than Chris Fraser and then Hugo Sutherland behind them too. So very, very close indeed. The mid-pack, however, holy mackerel, have a look at this. You got Anthony Jeffries only 0.05 of a second off Harry Lawrence. Then 0.2 of a second splits Matt Webb and Jeffries. But then Benny Vintner's only 0.28 away from that man in front of him, Matty Webb. So this is what you've got to look out for, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the pace departments very, very tight indeed on the hypercar class. And it's also so tight. The tightest one is between Mr. Moss the Lichen himself, and Peter Brock's long-lost love child, Greg Brock, sitting there. Only 0.06 of a second difference between those two as well. So we're going to see some qualifying action coming our way very shortly as the practice is done. Let's have a look officially here and just show what they have got there for the rest of it. And you can see there that we have got the man himself, Nick De Silva, off the Hypercar Class P1 provisionally with a 2:11.481. Can we see that get beaten in qualifying tonight? 3/10 or nearly 4/10. Chris Fraser behind him. Hugo Sutherland in third place. Gregor Olsen, Harry Lawrence, Jeffries, Matt Webb, Vincent Olatanzio, Peter Wall, Chandra, Alex Olaf, and Dan Heusman there in 13th to round out the grid for them. Then for the GT3 class, Shawnee Jacobs and Jeremy Talbot in both BMWs ready to go, and that is qualifying. Can even get through the list, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we want to see, but let's get back to it. Out here on track at the moment, the GT3s are all lining up. For you, an LMU watcher here on the channel, you will notice that generally it is basically a private qualifying session for all of these guys, but not tonight. They're all out on track, and the man who has got out on front once we start qualifying is Sean Jacobs. He's got a beautiful run here, so we're going to have to call the lap here on board. We'll watch them all stream out. That's Shawnee Jacobs. Keep an eye out on the Valentino Rossi numbered BMW there. Jeremy Talbot in another BMW, so these two as well. Tyson Robbs is that man coming through there in the Mustang. So another car that could be a little bit stronger here for the GT3 class tonight, although it has got some phenomenal straight line speed. So will that middle section that's coming up going to hamper him at all? We'll find out. Very, very sure indeed. Shawnee Madison is your next one out on track. Let's have a quick look at him. He's in the Corvette, the yellow and black. If you're a Richmond fan out there, you know who to look for there. Shawnee Madison in the Corvette. Martin Glastonbury, the Pommy himself, just spinning nearly there for the outlap here for his qualifying session in the Ferrari silver and red livery as well. Gregory Brock, this guy puts it all on for you. The racers out there watching it back tonight, give this guy a pat on the back at any time, because I'll tell you what, it's a very, very smoothly run operation here at ASA, that's for sure. That is your man to watch out. The Lichen himself, Kurt Moss in the other BMW. That is the other red and blue machine on there. Nick Hill, a new entrant to the series. Haven't seen him in LMU Sprints. Comes in for the Pro Series tonight in the other Corvette. Him and Shawnee Madison, two of them out on track. Benny Collins, not the Stig, mind you, is what he wants to be called, but I call him the Stig, in the Aston Martin. The beautifulest car on the circuit in the LMGT3 class, I can guarantee you that much. Phil Rando does random things sometimes, hence his last name, but it doesn't matter because he can get up there, and with 2 hours on the trot for these boys, could be interesting. He's in the Porsche, the orange and black with the Bend livery. If you're from South Australia, you know what's going on there. Shout out to Phil Rando. Ethan Payno, hopefully he doesn't have any of that with his last name tonight, stays out of it and has some success, that's for sure. And Miles Johnston, still not out on the circuit at this moment. Hopefully he gets in, because he's got a little bit of time left. In fact, he's only got 12.5 minutes to go here before they get started. But Shawnee Jacobs is the first man out on track tonight, so we're going to have to ride on board with him and run through a beautiful lap here of the Bahrain circuit. 6.2 kilometres of action coming your way. Let's get in the cockpit with him and see how he does it, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be interesting indeed. We'll get the onboard HUD as well there too. So this is Shawnee Jacobs, T1, hard braking at the 100-metre zone, back down into first gear, get your car pointed in and turn beautifully to the apex to hug that inside and go nearly over that bollard as well. This is all familiar to everyone else. Up the straight we go. Could be overtaking zones coming our way. Fourth gear coming our way very shortly into fifth. Maybe. No, he stays in fourth. Down the gears he goes into a very sort of quick right-hander, but then it's a left one out here. This is look like in the Southern Loop at this point in time, but then you get around this sort of section of the track where you would see all the Formula 1 cars go, a right-hander, then a left-hander. Beautiful driving at the moment there for Shawnee, just keeping it nice into first, but then it's a hard right-hand hairpin, and now we're on the inner circuit. This is the unfamiliar territory. Very, very brave to do some overtaking through here, I guarantee you, in both classes, and when the hypercars come through, this will be interesting. It'll be as hot as a dodgy Vindaloo. Then we come back onto the familiar section of the circuit. You can see where they come down that fast chicane. Usually in Formula 1, this is only turn 5 for them. Then we're back into the normal proceedings of the racetrack. Heavy braking zone into first. Get the car pointed in and turned nicely on the apex there. Don't have any oversteer on the exit. You can see the traction control just working a little bit. Third gear now for Shawnee Jacobs as he makes his way through Sector 2 with a 31.9 so far. So this is looking pretty good for him, grand scheme of things wise. Gets appointed and rails the throttle on the exit. Now it's hammer and tong. This is full beans down here. We have got to get your brains in check, because if you've got someone coming up behind you in the race time, this is where you have to defend. Heavy braking zone. Third gear down into second we go. Hug the inside apex. Run it a little bit wide there, but not too wide. Just get the shortest radius on this corner. Then fang it in to the right. Then we're over the ripple strip on the inside. No sand there, just painted concrete as well. Not too wide there. This is very tricky. Off camber, and it can catch you out as well tonight, that's for sure. But beautiful slip angle there for Shawnee Jacobs, just teetering on the edge there of the adhesion of the tyres. Beautiful stuff from him at the moment. We're into the final sector now for him. Sector 2 looked, for Sector 1 was purple. Sector 2 has been pipped by Jeremy Talbot. What can Shawn Jacobs do as he comes across the line in about 3.5 seconds time? He's going to be the first man to put it on the board, and we'll see what lap time he produces on the track for now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is... what is it? I can't even see it. It is a 2-minute 27, 8.20 for Shawn Jacobs there. Very nicely done. That's a good banker for him for the evening as well. Phil Rando has come through at the back also for him, and he will be looking very racy as well. He's only 1/10 away from the man himself, Shawnee Jacobs. Jeremy Talbot doing nicely. Tyson Robbs has crossed the line here now, 5/10 away from P1 indeed. Then Shawnee Madison and Phil Rando, everyone else behind him are 3 or 4 odd seconds away. So a little bit going on here. We've got Glastonbury, who has crossed the... no, he's gone into the pits. No, he's coming out now. He aborted his lap. Greg Brock, however, is on his out lap still. So these guys are pushing it fine here. They've only got 9 minutes left before their time ticks over. 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, for these guys to get out there and practice for this event. So we'll have to look out for them. Grand scheme of things sort of action there for tonight in qualifying. It's still Shawnee Jacobs out on top. 2-minute 27, 8.20, 2:27.944 for Jeremy Talbot. Tyson Robbs, 2:28.3. That is your top 3 at the moment. And what can Greg Brock do? We've got Glastonbury, Brock, Benny Collins, Miles Johnston, who still hasn't come out, and Stephen Martin on their outlaps at this point in time. It was a purple sector in the final one for this man, for Tyson Robbs last time around. What can he do? What has he got overall at the moment? He's 5/10 down at this point in time on his personal best, and wagging the tail heavily there on exit. Not the quickest way around. I'll give you the hot tip. Not the quickest way around, but still manages to keep it on the circuit at this point in time. Beautiful stuff there. He's got to wag a tail and get that Mustang pointed and use all that straight line advantageous speed they've got. Maybe he's going to be there, but holy mackerel. It's going to be very, very interesting to see tonight what entails for qualifying. As I said, Zach O'Reilly, I'm your host and commentator for tonight. Solely here for the next 2.5 or odd hours. I'll tell you what, the voice is going to be worked out harder than Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ronnie Coleman put together. I'll give you the hot tip by the end of it. But nonetheless, it's going to be good. We can see on the timing towers at this moment that this man is still on track to be P1, and he's on his outlap again. So we'll have to see what he can do, Shawnee Jacobs. Where is Shawn Jacobs? He's also on his outlaps. Jeremy Talbot's on his outlap as well. So a lot of these guys coming back into the pits. 5/10 still down for Tyson. He's got to get through the second sector here now. That's about to come up for his timing tower result to see where he is. No, he's on the front straightaway. So could this be an improvement for him? I can't see it. No, it is not for Tyson Robbs. 2:27.820 is the target time there for these boys. Got to see what they can do. What are they doing? Oh, that was Shawnee Madison just crossing the line. A second away from being there. He was our winner in the Lmu Sprint Series last round out. So Shawnee Madison's got to get back up there on that Corvette. Maybe the inner circuit is just not suiting that Corvette, or his tyres are not up to temp at the moment. We've only got 6.5 minutes thereabouts left to go, ladies and gentlemen, and it's all over for these GT3 cars and then the hypercars. Get out there and start doing their best thing. See what the time difference are for them. We still haven't got a lap confirmed there for this man, Martin Glastonbury, who is about to start his first lap here now. What can this guy do? Let's see him. Let's see what he can do in the grand scheme of things. Let's get on board in the Ferrari and see how it looks on board. Slaps it down a couple of gears. Looking very nicely as Martin, but What can we see from him? He's got a 2:27.8 in front of him at this moment to get up there. What is that going to look like for him once he gets around the circuit? A long lap, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes, 27 seconds. 2.5, mate. Round it out. And that is what we've got. That is what we've got for tonight. We'll see what he's got in the lap time department as Glastonbury. All the way from England there, his last name. Good to see Alex K in the chat as well. F22 Nick going for the Alpine as well. And Hugo shouldn't embarrass the BMW guys. Well, I hope not. That's for sure. It should be interesting, gents. But stick around and enjoy this one. Alex K is a quick man himself in LMU and has been teaching the young guns coming through in the Tier 2 of the Sprint Series. So we'll see what comes to fruition here for his prodigies tonight in the grand scheme of things. Hopefully there's some out there. If Alex can let me know in the chat, that would be fantastic. I'll give you the hot tip. Nonetheless, we're still racing. We're qualifying, basically. And Shawnee Jacobs, at the moment, he's a little bit down on his own personal best. There you can see 5/10 himself on his PB. Still holds pole provisionally. Where's Jeremy Talbot? He's coming through at the moment as well. And we've got to see his timing towers start to play games or not. But this man is getting quicker, Shawnee. He was the quickest one on the track in Sector 1 the last time around. He's 1 second off, 4/10 away from jumping Tyson Robbs in third. So he's got a bit of work to do, the Shawnee Jacobs at the moment. Shawnee Madison, sorry, I'm getting both mixed up here tonight. What has the BMW got for us in the second half of this lap? He is still 5/10 down on his personal best at the moment, is Sean. So not going to do anything here with 4 minutes and a half left here in qualifying. Oh, Tyson Robbs has just improved. He's just improved overall. He's got into third place. A very, very nice lap from him. Now into third place and only 1.8 tenths away from any threat in the grand scheme of things for these guys too. You can see on your timing tower there exactly. Looking very nice. He's got that Mustang just started to get sorted out there in the racing department. Look how slidey it is over the curbs. Hammers the brake pedal, gets it turned in, turns left, then turns right through the chicane. Then we've got another tight, twisty section. Another right-hander coming your way. A left, and then a quick right as well. This is racing, but he's up overall. He's 0.5 tenth away from any threat in pole position. If he can keep it together here, this is looking like a beautiful lap here so far for Tyson Robbs. He's on point to take the Shawnee Jacobs pole position away at the dying moments also. With 18:38 left to go, he's got 3.5 minutes to complete another lap if he possibly can. He's on the familiar part of the circuit now for the rest of him. Hard brake into the right-hander. First gear, now it slaps it into second. Isn't looking too taily now for Tyson, so this is going to be interesting for him. Where can he put that Mustang? Looking very, very nice and smooth, calm and collected under that helmet. And he's up personal best, but that means he's down by 1/100th of a second overall. This is interesting. Tyson Robbs on the absolute limit here. He hasn't set any personal best so far until this lap. Has been very good. He's 600ths away from taking Jeremy Talbot's P2 off him, and he's going to eclipse that at this rate. This last sector is very, very important here for that Mustang. Got to get it on point, upfired and interesting. Can he keep it together over this section? Very tight, twisty section, and he's got that done. Now into the heavy braking zone. Over the inside curb. Got it done nicely. Just wagging the tail on exit there as well. That Mustang very, very happy on the oversteer department, but it's looking good. He's up to 2 minutes and 10. He's got 17 seconds or thereabouts to get round to the start-finish line. Can he take off pole position from Shawnee Jacobs? It's only one corner away in a straight now to find out where he sits overall. He's got 6, he's got 5, he's got 4, 3, 2, and then 1 second. Can he get over the line? 2:27. No, it's a 2:28.1. Does not improve this Tyson Robbs, and that is his qualifying done. He's pulled it over to the side. Shawn Jacobs is still circulating around, and he's even going quicker here, ladies and gentlemen. He is 2/10 up on his PB right now. He's cementing his place on the top step for GD3 class. What can he do here? He's just got to keep it all together. I don't think there's too many other people with a threat behind him. Sean Madison is setting no laps. He's down to 50 k's an hour at the moment. He is circulating still. Kurt Moss, no threat. He's in the pits. We've got Phil Rando on his outlap and Greg Brock still to come around. Glastonbury in 8th there too. With Payno on his outlap for a last minute dive here for the qualifying session. He has to navigate one turn though to Shawn Jacobs to get this car pointed in. Onto the front straight we go now. No, he's not. He's there. He's onto the front straight in one more corner's time. Around we go. Down here, onto the straight. Can he put a further cementation on his grip? He can. A 2:27.657. Thank you very much, Mother, for the rabbits. He says he's done an out of this one. What a qualifying session there. I think that's all over. By the shouting there for anyone else to get in. The top three are in the pits. Shawnee Madison is still circulating at the moment. He set a personal best middle sector. Is this an outlap? It doesn't say on the timing tower whether it is. Although he's got 55 seconds to get around and make sure he can get there before the last timing tower comes through. Or is that it for everyone? Looks like Greg Brock's put himself in the pits. We've got Kurt Moss, the Lichen, in the pits as well. We've got outlaps there for Ethan Payno still circulating around. Jeez Louise, 11 cars qualifying here for the GD3 class. And Sean Jacobs has definitely cemented his place 3/10 better than anyone else. A yellow flag out on track at the moment. But with 26 seconds left in this one, hypercar guys are starting to get a little bit spicy and then get ready to go. And that is Shawnee Madison pulling over to the side, getting off the track. And he's done. What about Mr. Glastonbury? Has he got anything left in the bank there? He's 5/10 down on his personal best. He could do something here. I'm not too sure. It looks like he's going around trying to get this lap done with 3 seconds left to go. Is he going to get booted out of the server? However, he's up 6/10 in the middle sector, so maybe an improvement here. He's only got 3.8 tenths to get a position in front of him over the Lichen, so he is on here at the moment. If he can nail this last sector together, I reckon he could jump up a position or two. He's got 1 minute 45 on the timer at the moment, so he's got plenty of time to get around. What can that Ferrari do? A little bit wide there. Coming out of the left-hander, and he's got to keep it manufactured and keep it pointed in nicely here. This is exactly what you want to do. You want to keep it smooth, fast, and quick. Just using all of the track limits there. Gets it darted in. That rear-engined Ferrari there looking very, very pointy in those sections of the circuit. It will help him keep the car navigated and pointed towards the apex. This is the last guy, I reckon, to have any threat on a positional change for Glastonbury. What can he do? He's got one more corner to navigate here at Bahrain Circuit, the Enduro layout. One more to go, and he's on the front straight, ready to rock and roll. Yellow flags are out. People are spinning off everywhere. What can Glastonbury do as he comes across the line now to take any times off? He goes into 5th place and knocks off the Lichen himself from 6th into 5th place. He goes, and that was a very, very nice job indeed. By 400ths of a second does that man put it into 5th place, Glastonbury. Cracking stuff. With that said, no breaks for me in the commentary box. These hypercar guys are out. They're on their outlap now. This is going to be interesting. Nick De Silva, the practice hero here on screen. You can see the absolute pace difference already of these LMGD3 cars versus the hypercars. They are on song. Absolutely on song here tonight. It's cracking to see the difference. It's sort of for Formula 1 pace-esque. You can see De Silva now rounding the final sector here for his outlap. That is one man to watch. We've got Chris Fraser as well and Hugo Sutherland to keep an eye out too. Harry Lawrence is this man, a strategical genius, so to speak. In the best of times, these guys are going to have to be there. And he's going to have to put in his best performances, Harry Lawrence, tonight. 5th overall in practice session. And something to behold for him for this evening's proceedings. Let me give you the hot tip. Anthony Jeffries, shout out to him. New man on the circuit. So is Matt Webb. Haven't seen him in the sprint series as well. We've got Benny Vincent and Latanzio, Peter Wall, Chandra, Alex Olaf also there circulating around. Very nice looking Porsche there too in the Hertz liveried hypercar. And then you've got Dan Holzman there as well for the Porsche also. So a couple of Porsches out on circuit as you can see, and you watch those timing towers start to split. And these guys will then be ready to rock and roll. Let's have a look at the hypercar class timing tower now, as this is where it's all relevant. These are your races on the circuit. Let's see what they can do. Let's have a look and see where Shawnee Jacobs is for his lap. He's in. No, it's Shawnee Jacobs. Nick De Silva, sorry. He's out. And he's there ready and rocking and rolling. And look at the pace of this thing just circulating around. The car cannot keep up with the corners. It's nearly like chucking it in and getting rid of it and then turning for the next one. Your brain is in overload here for navigating this inner sanctum of the Bahrain circuit. Very, very tight and twisty through here as well. But then you can see how dancey it is. These hypercars take about one lap at an Interlagos circuit to really get those tyres up to temp. And now we're seeing how dancey it is. Look at him just seesawing at that wheel. Absolutely nightmare stuff. It looks like he's in a wood chopper competition here, just going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. But he's doing very nicely. This is his first flyer for the evening, and this man has been quick all session. And seeing how he's doing it now is just sensational to watch here in qualifying. That is for sure. Keeps going though. Third gear, fourth gear coming up now. We're into fifth already. Then slapping it through the gear, six, not too far away. Brakes heavily into the left-hander coming our way down to third. Just keeps it in third there at the mid-apex of that corner. Just dancing it on the throttle. See how slippy and slidy they are. But this is slip angle at its best, ladies and gentlemen. You can see just dancing on that limitation. Before the car oversteers, you know what the car's going to do, so you correct just before it even happens. And you can see that's a beautiful job there from this man himself, Nick De Silva. This is his first flying lap here. What is he going to produce in the Porsche? 44.3, 29.3 are his first two sectors. What's the last one going to come up and hamper at the moment? You can see him flying down the front straightaway now. Approaching the start-finish line. This is going to be a good opening lap here for him. 2 minute 11.6 to start. Those times are going to start to crumble and tumble, so to speak, for these guys as well. Where is this man, Hugo Sutherland? He is coming up to final turn here as well. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him, but that's okay. Olsen's gone into second place, provisionally 1.2 seconds off the pace. That's what he needs to do. Then we've got Olsen going into second. No, Olsen. Huisman into fourth place. Sutherland comes through to third. And then Wall just puts it into fourth place. Good stuff from him. Eric Chandler has gone across the field. Latanzio smashed himself up into fourth as well. Then we've got Jeffries and Webb coming in. Oh, Harry Lawrence goes bang into third place with that lap. Only a minuscule amount there if you want to be in the sarcasm department. 1.5 seconds already has De Silva got from first to third at this point in time. You can see that Porsche was just dancing on the limit there for the rest of them very, very nicely. And these guys have got to get a gallop on here, because 1.2 seconds times 2 hours, times how many laps that's going to be. You do the math, that is a hell of a long way away from anyone in the grand scheme of things. But very, very good stuff. Nick De Silva's put it into the pits and is going out for another sesh here. These guys, however, are pushing onwards. Those tyre temperatures might not be up to speed. Not too sure. Alex K's got to give me some advice here in the chat and see what is happening, because with this amount of circuitry, with 6.2 kilometres, I reckon these tyres take 1.5 laps or so just to get up to temp relatively. But Harry Lawrence is quicker overall. He set a purple first sector. Beautifully got out of the way. Did a guy not on a hot lap there for him. What can Harry Lawrence do in the grand scheme of things? Just navigating his way around this circuit. Beautifully done in so, and we can see the times tumbling for everyone else in the next minute or so too. 8 minutes and 28 left in this one. He's up personal best, but he's down overall by 0.08 of a second. He's still a 10th up overall, is Harry Lawrence. If you do the maths, looking very, very racy, and he's going to be taking Nick De Silva's pole position for now, if he can keep it together here for the final sector of the Bahrain Endurance Circuit. Navigates that beautifully, just dancing it on the throttle. We can see on the inside here what he's doing as well, versus what we saw Nick De Silva do. Just long-winded understeery sort of stuff out onto the apex of the corner. Fangs it in nicely, gets that arse turned in beautifully there, just dances it on a limit. That looked a bit pointier there in the Cadillac versus the Porsche. So different driving styles for different cars coming into this, and also for the driver as well. And this is how Harry Lawrence likes his car to be set up. Just pointy in the rear, turn it into the apex and then power out of it. What is this lap going to do from him? That Cadillac sounding absolutely sensational as he comes across the line to put it into position number one. Straight across the line, 3/10 better overall. 2:11.279 is the time to beat now. What has Gregory Olsen got for him at this point in time? We'll see where he is on the circuit, coming around the tight, twisty section through the middle. So he's a little bit away at this point in time from anything. Latanzio's in the... Holtzman's in the pits at the point of time, just making sure. And then we see Eric Chandler go into fourth place. Just comes across the line and gets that job done. And we've got Chris Fraser also, who just did that too. He's bumped himself up into fifth. Very, very nicely done from him. But it is Harry Lawrence by 0.3 of a second overall over De Silva and Olsen. What can Latanzio do there? He's got to be on song here tonight. Latanzio, a quick customer indeed, and he's up overall on his personal best. 0.4 up on his PB. He's 2.2 seconds up, so he's still 1.8 away, and he's lost it completely. Oh, that's disaster there for Latanzio. Not what he wanted to do at this point in time. He's only really got another lap and a half that he can complete here before he has to go, and he's sent it into the pits. Is he going to come out in time? I'm not too sure from that. We can see Greggy Olsen here. He's up personal best overall. He's got 6/10 to make up between himself and the next guy in front of him. And he's halfway there at the moment, living on a prayer style, is Mr. Olsen. What can Greg do? He's got to point it in here nicely in that Alpine. The taillights are the coolest taillights out there, that's for sure. They actually are the badge of Alpine itself. Very, very clever from the Frenchies here. But what can he produce for the final sector? Can he get up further? Can he take over Nick De Silva's position here? Is he just going to cement that place for third? Because he's got 3/10 already over the top of Eric Chandra behind him. But what can this lap do as he crosses the start-finish line now? Bang! Cementer 2:11.66. That was a quickest last sector there for him. So the pace is starting to creep into the track here at the moment. They're all getting on song, and he's just cemented third place there. Beautiful stuff, 0.04 of a second away from De Silva's second place. So very, very nicely job done there for him. What can this man do? Eric Chandra, he is about to start a hot lap. Ferrari base tonight needs to get his wriggle on here for this qualifying session. 5 minutes 17 left with 2 minute 11 laps. He will have this lap to make it all count. Unless he pulls out of this one and goes for another one halfway through, we could see something happen in terms of the timing change. He's got a long way to make up. He's got 7/10 between himself and Greggy Olsen overall in the timing department. And then Mr. Chandra has... Well, no, sorry. That is different because I'm getting the wrong things looked up here. He is 2/10 away, and it is Dan Holzman who has come into 6th place and said, thank you, I'll take that, Pete, and cemented that place. That is very, very nice driving from him. Anthony Jeffries has also jumped up into 7th place. Latanzio still nowhere near this at the moment. He's got 4 minutes 33 left to go in this circuit for this wrap as well. And he's in his timing session. He's just got to get his wriggle on. Just got to get it done. Make sure it's all on song and not have an oversteering moment. You can see him warming up those tyres. He's not happy with the temp at this moment. Oh, but speaking of which, who is happy at the moment? It's Harry Lawrence. He's 2/10 up now over his own personal best. Nick De Silva has got a little bit to answer for. He's done a 44.2 in that session, in that first sector versus a 43.9 now for Harry Lawrence. So something to think about here for Nick De Silva. Can he come through with the chockies? He was quickest in practice, but now Harry Lawrence has got the chockies over him at this stage. 29.4 for De Silva and a 29.4 in the middle for Lawrence also. So very, very quick customers indeed here, but he's still got the chockies at the moment as Harry Lawrence. He's still got 3/10 and he's up overall by 1.3 of a second. So this is exciting for him. He's got this lap to do it and possibly another one unless the tyres are absolutely dead as a doornail after 6.2 kilometres of circulation here on the fast stuff. You can see how wriggly that Cadillac is for him, but he's doing very, very nicely indeed at this point in time is Lawrence. He's just got to keep it motivated and pointed in the right time here for this final corner, not using all the track limits that he possibly can there because he'll get a cut and that will be lap deleted for him, but he's still on. 1:58 on the clock now for him time-wise. He's got a little bit left to go here for the final circulation of his hot lap. Is he going to put it even further up the front row? At 3/10 at the moment, 3.5 thereabouts. But De Silva has come through and gone bang, only 1/10 away. But then Lawrence replies and goes, thank you, I'll put it back out to 3/10. And that is what I'm going to serve up. Nearly into a 2-minute 10 there for qualifying. Wow, De Silva did his best. He did his absolute best there at this moment. But he looks like he's still going around for a little bit of a lap here too. So he's going to go once again. Harry Lawrence has pulled it up and thought, nah, that's it for me. Come and beat me. So 3/10 now is the gap. And he's at a dead heat for Fraser and Gregory Olsen there. Absolutely on the same time for these two. 2 minutes 20 left in this one. If you haven't started a lap now, that is your last lap right as we speak. What are we going to see? We're going to see some changes there. We've got Latanzio way down there at the moment, 44.5 at this moment for him. He's coming around the back section of the circuit. He was up by 5/10 on his personal best, down 3/10 on his overall, so he's still up 2/10. He can only, if he gets more than 2.9 of a second on his PB provisionally at this moment, it'll jump him up into 8th place from 10th, Nando. So we'll see what he can do on the rest of it. Of this lap as well. We've got a 44.371 for Gregory Olsen coming through at his stage. What has Nick De Silva got? 44.2 and a 29.4 for his middle sector. Nando Latanzio coming around the final corner here. Oh no, he's punted himself off and he's lost it again. Disaster for Latanzio. He's even gone further down the grid because Jeffries overtook him And that is it for him. Nick De Silva, however, is he's up on his personal best by 2/2600ths of a second. And then he's got a hundredth of a second overall on his own personal best and quickest in the middle sector. So this could be interesting. Harry Lawrence is going to be a little bit nervy here watching it from the pit box. This could be incredible. Oh no, he's lost it. He's got a little bit of a wag there happening mid corner. Not the best, and he knows it too. That is all over for De Silva. He could have been up there, that's for sure, ladies and gentlemen. But can't get the chockies at the moment. Chris Fraser's down on his own personal best, so he's out. So is Greg Olsen too. We've got cars streaming into the pits at the moment. What is this guy in the Lamborghini for Matt Webb? What does he do? He's 1 second away on his own personal best, so way, way, way off for him. And then with Hugo Sutherland come across the line, and only by 0.10 of a second misses out on taking Anthony Jeffries 7th place there. Although he's got 31 seconds, so this still isn't over for the mid-pack at this rate. They're going around hammer and tong. Even Peter Wall's having a good crack here, also in the background. See what he's doing overall, and his timing, it's not coming up on the sector at this moment. So are they racing around here? But Matt Webb is way down. He's 1.2 seconds on away from any threat to something, so probably a little bit of track education going on for him at the moment. This man, also Greg Olsen, still circulating around, but the timer tower is going to beat him to the finish line. So unless we see some miracle and my timing tower is basically giving me furfies as we go around, that could be qualifying, ladies and gentlemen, for this one. What can Matt Webb do? He's way, way down still. We've got 0.5 of a second for Jeffries to take over that position in 6th place. He's not going to get it done at this rate. 0.07 of a second here for Peter Wall, and he still can't get it done either. So this looks like the final sort of section of qualifying coming our way. Alex Olive circulating around as well in the Hertz liveried Porsche Hypercar. These guys are our last guys, but it looks like at the moment it is a secured P1, and definitely secure with that one, with Harry Lawrence off the front row. He is going to take P1 at this stage. We see the other guys coming through, and Matt Webb goes into 6th place. Happy days for him. Done a beautiful job in the final sector. Jeffries as well, still circulating around. The last guy on the circuit here, is he just going for it at the moment because he's way, way off the pace. He's setting 46s and 31s, middle and first sector. So that could be it overall, with the timing tower ticking down to 0. We'll ride with him and just see what he can produce here for that final section of this circuit. 1:53 seconds already, so very, very slow and casual. 2nd gear, 3rd gear coming our way, 4th gear as well. And this one is well and truly over for him, I would say, here with that sort of timing tower at the moment. He's got to get a 2:12.1 to be better overall, and he's just about to pass 2:12. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your qualifying. Overall, for all of our drivers, half an hour session split into 2 there. Harry Lawrence takes it by an absolute country mile. Nick De Silva in 2nd. 3.7 tenths away from any threat to Harry Lawrence. Greg Olsen and Chris Fraser equal 3rd, you could say, but one did it after the other, and they got there first. So Greg Olsen, Chris Fraser, identical times there. You don't often see that in a hypercar class. Eric Chandler and Matt Webb and Jeffries, 5th, 6th and 7th respectively. With Hugo Sutherland, Bernie Vintner will be disappointed with that one. Dan Heusman, Latanzio will also be disappointed. Peter Wall and Alex Olive take out the hypercar grid with Shawnee Jacobs, Jeremy Talbot and Tyson Robbs, P1, 2 and 3. Very, very close between all of them. Only 0.4 of a second thereabouts between 1st to 3rd. Shawnee Madison in 4th place. Glastonbury, the Lichen, Kurt Moss in 6th place. Gregory Brock in 7th. Rando Pano and Ben Collins, Nick Hill in 10th and 11th, with Miles Johnson still not setting a time, but sitting in the server as he just gone AWOL. Do we know where he is? I'm not too sure, but he'll find out. Give me one memento, ladies and gentlemen, before the racing kicks off. I'll be back here at Sensational TV in just a few moments.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
All righty then. We are ready to rock, ladies and gentlemen. 2 hours coming our way of hardcore racing. 2 hours of split grid nonsense and absolute bedlam, I would say, for these guys ready to rock and roll. Give us your predictions in the chat. As we just take a sip of beautiful H2O there to get the vocal cords warmed up. Who's going to take this one? Good evening, Colin. Good to have you here as well. Tonight, it's going to be a sensational event, so to speak. And I reckon these guys are looking very, very racy indeed up the front here. Harry Lawrence has got it all to win and all to lose at the same time. Alpine for the win, says F22 Nick. Well, here's hoping, mate, for your sake tonight to make it a good Saturday night in. Watching this racing go to the nth degree. 120 minutes coming our way. Jeez, it's going to be exciting here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting excited. Hope you guys are. We're only 20-odd seconds away from starting the formation lap. That's your man off pole there for the hypercar class. Shawnee Jacobs is also your man. You can see him down there in that blue Mustang. Takes pole position for that one as well. So going to be very, very interesting indeed. But it's all going to start to crumble down as the timer ticks to 0. And these boys are about to get ready and racing here for this one. Rolling start, ladies and gentlemen. Short style. Ready to rock and roll. These guys are getting a bit nervous under the collar. I would say we're going to get revved up and excited here for this one too. So this is when it all gets ready to rock and roll. I'm going to be your host tonight here and commentator for the whole event here. 2 hours of racing coming our way. What can Harry Lawrence do? What can Shawnee Jacobs do? In the GT3 car class, we're going to have a very, very tricky circuit coming our way. And we are green already, ladies and gentlemen. We are off and racing, so to speak. And it is an absolute beautiful start there for Harry Lawrence. He's got way out in front there. But Olsen's going to have it stabbing him up the inside too. We've got 3 wide into turn 1. That never works for the rest of them. Beautiful stuff there from all of them. They get through in the hypercar class pretty much unscathed there, I would say. So very, very nicely done indeed from all of them. What's happening here in the GT3 class as well? We've got Sean Jacobs, who's got the jump over Talbot too. Tyson Robbs is trying to get his way around the outside there as well. We've got the Moss Man in there as well. Just getting a little bit touchy there and hairy on the end of it. But nice racing from everyone. They know it's two hours of racing here to go. And I'll give you the hot tip. It's going to be on by the time the pit boards come up and they start to do their strategies. But that is it at the moment. Lawrence has not got rid of De Silva, I can guarantee you that, as we get through the tight, twisty section here of the Bahrain circuit. Still out in front and only by 0.3 of a second now. So this is going to be interesting for them. What can they do? You can see the car behaviour just getting very, very slidey and wiggly there from the both of them. Cold as an Eskimo's tool tyres at this point in time for the rest of them. And with all that horsepower and battery underneath, they've got to be careful they don't lose it in the background. Everyone's sort of got through nicely here. This battle pack has skipped away to large. Oh no, and Harry Lawrence has lost it. And that is De Silva straight up the inside. A change for the lead already. Halfway around the Bahrain circuit, and it's happened here. An unforceable error. Sorry for Harry Lawrence there, and Nick De Silva's just got the chockies now. Harry Lawrence will be kicking himself, although he's got 2 hours to make up any positions, but it is now 0.8 per second between these two, and they've skipped away to an absolute country mile over the rest of them. Wowee, that's incredible stuff. Let's get him. Let's get him, Brocky. That's what we've got in the chat there as well. But Nick De Silva is your man at the moment. He's way out there in front. Overall, 0.8 of a second now over Lawrence, who had it for the first half, and he threw it all the way. And now we are on to the first proceeding here of the first lap, about to kick over, and it's still a little bit of a battle pack going on here in the LM GT3 car class. You can see here Kurt Moss in 7th place, up the arse end of Gregory Brock there, and it's nearly a 4-way freight train too in the GT3 cars. They're getting around nicely and pretty much happy at this stage, I would say. It's a second now out in front between De Silva and Lawrence, so using a bit of battery early are those hypercar guys at this moment. It's going to be interesting to see what these boyos can do racing around the track. You can see the pace difference between them all. These guys look like they're walking compared to the hypercar cars, and you just look at the pace difference already as they round turn 1, 2 and 3 of Bahrain circuit onto the fast right-hander coming their way, then a flick to the left, and then another flick to the right, then a left and a right, and a left and a right. It's going on all the time here at the moment. This is Greg Olsen he's driving very, very nicely indeed. You can see there he's got Eric Chandler just in front of him to get some sort of momentum in the apex department. And you can see what happens when you just get it right. You gain time there, and that is what Greg Olsen did over Eric Chandler in front of him. You can see him just turning late there on the steering wheel just to get that last bit of bite that he needs, just flowing it through. Chandler really, really wide, runs a little bit too wide there for his liking, gathers it up though nicely, points it straight towards the exit, and the different driving styles between them all is very, very evident already. That Alpine looking pretty racy indeed, so good to see Greg Olsen up there in the top 5 with Chandler in front of him. He's got a bit of a battle pack gaining behind him, so is Chandler corking the bottle? Or is it Greg? Who knows? Because Webb and Sutherland coming up right behind them at a rate of knots too. This is going to be exciting to see as well between them. It's on for the lead here. Robs and Jacobs are right there with each other. In fact, that could be the closest battle that we want to have for the evening. Only one person in the commentary box tonight. It's going to be needing the chat to help me on changes of the lead, changes of positions, etc. as well. Really, really, really appreciate it if that is the case, and you guys could be there for me. I'm going to be doing it as best as I can. One man for 2 hours. Could be interesting here tonight, but not over by the shouting at all. You can see only 3 or 4 tenths between these two in the LMGD3 class as well, and a big gap between them, 1 second now overall. These guys are actually as close together as we want to see too. We've got Benny Collins right up the arse end of Ethan Pano. Pano's flashing the lights to I don't know who, to his family in the crowd or something. I'm not quite too sure on what he's doing at the moment, but that is Benny Collins right around the outside, and he's got Mr. Hill and Nick Hill right behind him in the Corvette. This is a good little tussle here. This is fighting over the minor positions in the grand scheme of things, but nonetheless, it's still racing, and that's what we want to see. We can see them going at it. We've got to look at the suck battle here at the front though of the GD3 class, because this is Tyson Robs on for P1, and Jacobs has just let him pass straight up the inside. But has he got the job done? Is there a switchback here down the front straightaway? We'll see in a momento, because you can see at this point in time that it looks like Tyson's got a good run. But here comes Shawnee Jacobs back around the outside, and it's a drag race now for P1. You can see Mustang versus BMW. Coupe's going up the Coupe, and the BMW of Talbot right behind them. Also, Robs has gone the outside, trailer park girl style, and he's cut the nose off Shawnee Jacobs there. They've bumped and grinded each other too. That's Constantine. In fact, Tyson nearly lost it there on the exit too. Well, that was as close as you want to get to losing it. Shawnee Jacobs not having any of that. He's racing hard in and out between Tyson Robs. And this is on for P1 here already. Only 6 minutes gone in this race. And these guys are racing like it is the last lap of the race too. Look at Talbot just getting really, really squirrely under brakes there, trying to not punt off Shawnee Jacobs in front of him. Yet he's BMW versus Mustang here at the front, or Ford if you want to call it that. M4s versus Mustangs. When these guys are not letting go of each other, I'll give you the hot tip. Cracking stuff already through the tight, twisty section we go. 24 turns here tonight. God bugger me if I could remember them all. That is what is going on here tonight through the tight section. But it's single file through here unless you have an absolute mare on the exit. And then you'll be up there too. But Jacobs cannot get past Tyson Robs. Again, he's 6 tenths away now. That midsection is Mustang friendly by the looks of it overall. And then it comes down to the final sector. It looks like the BMW starts to come into its own with the sheer driving pleasure slogan that they always use. You'd hope so. In technical stuff, they'd be right up there. 7 tenths of a second separates these two in the lead. The next closest battle on the track here is in the hypercar class between Latanzio and Dan Hulsman. So Hulsman right now looking a little bit vulnerable to a suck battle here down the front straight for Latanzio. Let's have a look and see how much battery these guys have got left in the hypercars already. Wow, look at that. Olsen's at 55%. 54 in fact for Webb too. The front three have gained some battery over not battling between each other. 79% is the best on the circuit, and that would be Harry Lawrence, the strategical genius in battling and also with battery saving too. He's very, very good at that. Good to see Lewis VDV in the chat there as well. I'm loving having you around also tonight, and pleasure to have everyone with us here tonight on the stream. Beautiful stuff there. And that, at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, is Latanzio struggling. He's 7 tenths away now from any overtake move as these guys file their way around. A little bit of a battle happening here too as well between Leitchen and Gregory Bock. He's right on the arse end of him now. So what can the Leitchen do over the man who runs the series? You wouldn't want to be too kind, but also not be too mean to him. He's got to suck down the front straightaway now. You can see on the hood cam here, it's just a little bit too far away, but this is going to be enough to invite him up the inside. Is he going to do it? No, Brock's just gone super late under brakes there. Wowee, the Ferrari's got some brake power, that's for sure. And Leichen just thought, nah, bugger it, you can shoot off into the distance if you understeer wide, but didn't happen there for Brocky. Got on the power beautifully and just kept that Ferrari pointed where it needed to be. Sensational stuff from him. But Moss is looking, he's going left and right, he's trying to put pressure on Brockery, and Brocky's just routed a little bit wide, nearly checked up into Moss there too. So this is exciting stuff from these guys. I'll give you the hot tip. Over the bonnet cam we go. You can see the difference in driving lines. Brock just goes for the wide and late apex. Moss has gone for the early and then run it wide job. And right on the back end, just porting it up at the last second. That was close. That was a cigarette paper between them two. I'll give you the hot tip there, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to be on your wits. You've got to have all those brain powers functioning and working well, I can guarantee you, because there's no point trying to get it done. And that's what Brocky's doing at the moment. He's raking too hard into that. Lost a lot of time there. And now Leichen's right up his clacker once more. Is he going to get a move done up here? I can't see him getting it done. He's too far away at this point in time. No, he just sits behind him and just lets him go for one more time to see what these boys can do in the battle. And Brocky's got some strength on exit and braking. I'll tell you what, a cracking little tussle here, these two. Having a good old crack. Benny Vinton is already way down in 20th overall. No, 24th overall, 13th out of his class, which is dead set last. But the Moss man versus Brock is the battle to look at here. They're the closest on circuit and looking very, very nice indeed. What can Leichen do? We'll get back to him. Gregory Olsen is on the back of Chandra now too. So for the hypercars, it's starting to heat up because Webb is also on the back of him. So a three-way battle just nicely happening here. Three different manufacturers too, mind you, as well. That is looking, looking very nice. We've got Ferrari, Alpine, and Lamborghini, all three abreast, ready to rock and roll. If someone stuffs it up, I'll give you the hot tip. 35 is my favourite number there too for Olsen. So he's a crowd favourite in the sensational commentary box for tonight, I guarantee you that. But doing very, very nicely indeed are these boyos, looking very, very racy, and just got to keep it nice and fluent between the rest of them, else it could end in disaster. It could, but I hope it doesn't. That's all I can say. I absolutely hope it does not, because these guys are just ready to rock and roll. Colin, get it on the big screen, mate. Good on you. Looking beautiful in 2K res here tonight. I hope it's looking sensational for you on the big screen. Good to have you here as well for the current event and round tonight. This is round one, ladies and gentlemen, of the Pro Series for ASA's season. Prize money is up for grabs here tonight as well. $100 on the table. And if you take it, wowee, that's pretty damn good if you're asking me. And it looks like De Silva is way out in front. This guy in the lead, and he's already lapping some cars in the LMGT3 field. It has not taken long at all. It's only taken 12 minutes and he's already lapping one. Jeez, that must be a back marker there of Miles Johnson, I would say, that he just got past. It is. So very, very interesting to see these guys going around. 2-minute 12s are the lap times for the hypercars. 2-minute 28s for the GT3s. So 16 seconds. Basically bang on. 16 seconds is the difference per lap, per car in the class. That's something to behold, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you, it's looking very nice. And Olsen is right now on the clacker of Chandra once again. Matt Webb just trailed off a little bit there. It's 6 or 7 tenths between those two, and it is also a 6-tenth gap between himself and Matt Webb. So it's looking very racy. Olsen just using the apex a bit better, and already there is Johnston there. That is incredible. That's Miles getting out of the way of these guys pretty early when he needs to. Nicely done. He doesn't have any obligation to do so, but while these guys battle, it's their choice to make a move when they think it is safe to do so in the hypercars when they're coming up on the GT3. So got to keep that in mind as well. It's beautiful. It is beautiful stuff. Could I turn the engine sounds up just a little bit? Well, Colin, just for you, mate, I will. I'll get them up just a touch. Just a touch there. See what we can do. Hopefully that's a little bit better. They are a bit far away. When we go on board, you can see the difference there is a little bit more for these guys, and some cars sound louder than the others. That's for true, and the rest of them don't. They sound a bit quiet up in the RPMs. We're on board here with Greg Olsen. You can see what he's looking at in front of him. That's Eric Chandra wide there. He's up in the dirt and the dust. That's going to hurt him on the exit. Can Gregory get a opportunity of a lifetime here to maybe take the position. Is he right up there? He's just close enough at the moment. He's going to stick the nose up. Bang, he goes. Beautiful overtake, but he's overcooked it on the exit, and that's lost him all the position that he got, and he's going to lose it to Webb also. Oh, poor old Gregory got dummied into that one. Caught in 2K res, did he? Unfortunate for him. He's going to have to pass 2 cars now instead of the one that he thought he was going to get. And it's back to the drawing board, 6th place. 1 hour and 46 minutes left in this one. Whew, he's got plenty of time. Don't worry about that. Don't you worry about that. It should be fine for him as well. This is exciting stuff for the rest of them. This is a cracking little battle we've got going on here for these boyos. It's still Mossy on the back of the Lichen. Mossy on the back of himself, in other words. On the back of Brocky here. These guys are racing really, really nicely together. And you can see Team WRT versus the Spirit of Race doing a nice job. But in the meantime, Brock has started to catch up to Glastonbury. So Glastonbury's only 1.4 seconds up the road. You can see him there. That's Benny Vintner in the hypercar going around dead set last in his class by a country mile. But nonetheless, this could be interesting. If these guys keep racing just behind each other without battling too much, that will be Glastonbury under some sort of pressure here by the time they get to him. So is the Moss going to be patient? Is he going to be growing slowly on the roof tiles, or is he going to just splurt into an oblivion and just basically ejaculate all of the other little bits of moss around in the seed department? I'm not too sure, but that's a double entendre if I've ever heard one. Can he get the job done on Gregory Brock? He's happy just sitting there underneath him. That is for true. We'll get back to them in just a moment, or will we? Because that is Brocky gone wide, just at the point of not. Lucky I didn't click to over another driver there. That was beautiful directing by myself, if you don't mind. And that is Kurt Moss up the inside now of Brocky. Surely he's going to take this position now, straight up the inside. He gets, no, he doesn't get it done. Was there contact? Oh, it doesn't matter because Brock's one wide. And there goes Gregory. He's into 7th place now, unfortunately. Mossy, for his sake, fortunately, gets past him. And now he's got some clean air in front of him. He's got 2.3 seconds to make up between himself and Glastonbury. Now that he's been released from the Brockinator, who was in front of him, what is his pace going to be indicative of? We'll see what's going on. A yellow flag on the circuit. Can't see any cars that are not doing any 0 kilometres an hour. So we'll find out what that is going on. Is it going to come out? Yellow flag still waving. So it's not a full course yellow, just a yellow flag in a certain sector. No, that's all cleared and all done and 1 round. Now look at Matt Webb. He's got right on the back of Harry Chandler. He's been released after Olsen ran way, way wide. And he's only 5/10 away now from taking a position into P4 off Chandler. Chandler's got a fair way up the road to get anywhere near Chris Fraser. He's 3.4 seconds away from him, so we've got to make sure that he keeps it clean. But Matt Webb doing very, very nicely in that Lambo. A beautiful looking car as well too, so don't you worry about that. We've got Ethan Payno there. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time so far for these boys. Webb's going to have to get past him at a rate of knots because that will be allowing Chandler to just gallop away out in front. You can see that gap was 5/10. Now it's a second, so it's double just with that 1 corner move. But Payno's got out of the way nicely there, and everyone else behind. Olsen's got past him too. So play on here, not for much longer because that is Mr. Hill in front of them too. So he's at the wrong place in the wrong time also. These guys have just got to fang it around the outside. Oh, you can see Hill just trying to do whatever he can to keep racing. But the hypercar guys have got no obligation to get out of the way because Hill's in a battle of his own with Benny Collins in front of him, 7/10 away at this stage. You can see him just trying to push through. And now it's a 3-way battle at the back. These guys are not going to be happy about this. Chandler is well and truly lost the position over all of this because that would be Matt Webb. Oh, no, he hasn't. Chandler's in front. Matt Webb is right there and he's lost a hell of a lot of time. Sorry. Olsen's up the arse now of Matt Webb. And then you can see them all just navigating beautifully around these cars without incident at this stage. Poor old Benny Collins in the wrong place again. I was not going to get too hampered there for this run down into the double left-hander off Canberra circuit coming away. That's getting quick there. That's getting spicy. I'll tell you what. Look at Sutherland right up the back now of Olsen. This is incredible stuff. It is very, very close. He nearly ran into the arse of him there, did Sutherland. So Sutherland on the back of Olsen now, who in tail is only 1 second away from that Webb in front of him. So could be a little bit of a battle coming our way for these boys. See what they've got in the grand scheme of things. But just spicing it up early on in this race are all of these gentlemen at the moment. Good stuff. With a bit of lull in proceedings, this man is about to start his first his lap around here. And let's right on board with Nick De Silva. Leading the race by 3.8 seconds. Turn the volumes up, ladies and gentlemen. This is how a hypercar car goes around this circuit. Beautiful stuff there from Nick De Silva. That's how you go racing, ladies and gents. And he's 5.6 seconds now away from any threat. He's doubled that lead nearly within a lap over the rest of the field. And a couple of DNFs already. Sutherland and Heusman have DNF'd out of this one. So a couple of early casualties. Not the best way to go racing. I guarantee the hot tip, if you want to keep racing and get some points on the board, you might as well stick at it because it's a long season coming up. We've got 14 rounds, I tell you what. So don't you worry about that. And Nick De Silva is out in the lead by a country mile. These guys are all in a little bit of a proceedings in the hypercar class, but this one is still on. Glastonbury is now getting hounded by Kurt Moss. So Mossy has caught the back of him. We saw earlier on that he was looking for some sort of fruition in the grand scheme of things in terms of pace, and he has got released from Gregory Brock. He knocks off the bollard there, out of the way. They won't have to hit that one again. It's way off the racing line, that's for sure. So nonetheless, very, very nice stuff from Kurt here at this stage. Him and Glastonbury are fighting tooth and nail, and they are the closest battle on the circuit at the moment. Tyson Robbs is leading the field by an absolute country mile. We'll go to the multi-class option there on the timing tower to see what we've got there, and you can see the difference. 7 seconds overall for both of them, realistically, in both classes, leading this one. And we're only what are we? We're only 22 minutes into this race, so a long, long way to go. But nonetheless, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. 2 hypercar DNFs, Hugo Sutherland and Dan Holzman out of it. Miles Johnston DNF'd out of the GT3 class already too. So come back, boys, if you possibly can. Oh no, that's Black Glastonbury around. He's unforced errored himself into the wall. That is disaster for him. He is still facing the wrong way. Can he crack a reverse? He can, and he gets into first gear, and he's lost no places at this stage. Somehow, Phil Rando is a country mile away from him. So, unforced error from him hasn't hurt him positionally apart from one. But geez, he'll be ruining that opportunity. Those tyres will be a little bit warm under the collar as well. So it could be something going on there between the two of them. These guys have not separated each other either in the hypercar class. Matt Webb coming to grips now with the Lamborghini. Looks like he's just like fine wine at the moment, just aging beautifully here into this race, getting a grips with that Lamborghini, and Chandler in front of him looking a little bit vulnerable at some stages here for the rest of them. Let's have a look at the energy levels. De Silva's only got half a tank left at this stage. Lawrence has got 57%, still the best overall out of the top 5 by a long shot. So maybe playing the long game is Harry Lawrence. We'll find out very, very shortly indeed. But geez Louise, these guys now going to have to get a little bit of a gallop on with Webb only with 31%. He's trying everything he can to get up the arse end of Chandra, but it's going to cost him. He's going to have to come in earlier to a pit here, ladies and gentlemen. So something to think about there for him. Is he going to go short early and then longer later in the race? I'm not too sure. It looks like at this stage we're probably going to have a 2-stopper, I would say, unless there's a 3-stop. But yeah, unfortunately, it's definitely off sync, as F22 Nick says. I didn't even read that, mate. But yeah, unfortunately, Floppy, you're out of this one. Come and join us in the chat and see. Unfortunately, what did you have? I sent it on. I can't even remember it. Send it on traffic. Spun him out and didn't have time to react. And done. That sucks. I don't know who you are, in fact, on the racetrack, but let us know who you actually were, mate, and I can then know exactly what was going on. But nonetheless, this is a little bit of a battle that is way out of kilter, but still within the grasp of overtaking each other, these two. So keep an eye out for that little battle going on at this stage. 7 seconds still out in front for Mr. De Silva and also for Tyson Robbs there too. Very, very nice driving. Consistent from them as well. Very, very good stuff from those guys. When it comes to the racing department, though, Benny Collins, not the Stig, he was right up the clacker there. And look at that little bit of net coating going on. Phil Rando just having some connection issues on his end, just flashing in and out sometimes. So Benny Collins will be a bit frightened if that's what he's seeing as well. You can see him just darting all over the circuit, is Phil. And Benny Collins has got the job done, I think. No, he hasn't. That looks like Phil Rando going everywhere, just like his last name says, on track and off it, in the positions, just darting the car anywhere he wants to be. Hopefully Benny Collins can see a clearer vision than what we have, because that car is really, really pingy at this stage in front of him. Maybe giving him something to think about, actually up his reflexes, to be quite truthful. So might be interesting by the time we get through this one. It's ready to rock and roll, but geez, a long way to go in this one. Hour and 34 left. And the racing is still happening up and down the grid. We've got this one going on here. Then we've got Matt Webb still up the arse end of Eric Chandler. 0.7 of a second between those two. So looking pretty racy indeed. And it looks like there that Phil Rando had a mare coming out of there. Now it looks like Ben Collins is going to go up beside him or try to get the suck down the front straightaway. Phil Rando half defensive, just half a car width off the racing line, just defending nicely there. Darts it in early. Oh no, oh geez, I thought he was going off the middle of the circuit, but Phil Rando still there. Ben Collins, he's got something to think about now. He's in the slipstream. This could be an overtake here coming for Benny Collins. Is he going to be far enough up? We'll find out in just a hot second for them too. As we get there on the hook cam as well, we can see he's not going to be getting the chockies at this stage. Phil Rando just too far away for him to make a move there. Oh geez, look out. Yep, definitely looking like he's all over the shot is Phil Rando. So very hard for Benny Collins to get past him with that net coating going on left, right and centre. And Ben Collins, for his own sake, just went too wide there on the exit and has released the pressure off Rando there, just all B by a B's whisker. 6-7 tenths now it is between these two guys on the racetrack. Oh no, there goes Rando. No, he doesn't. He comes back on the field and out of absolutely nowhere, he's looking like he's going upside down. Sometimes he's way off into the bunda, then he's back on. Geez, that's not fun for Benny Collins to have a look at. Don't know if it's just my end or anyone else. It's pretty good. Oh, you're Hoisman, Floppy. Okay, no worries at all. Geez, it is a bit of an extra sort of track as well. A couple of guys not liking F22. Nick not liking it as well. Floppy not doing his own best job at the moment. Where is Phil Rando now? Is he up the inside? Yes, he is. He's still there. Is Benny Collins going to get the move done here? I think he is at the moment. Yes, Ben Collins has got that job done now, finally on Phil Rando. Net coating all over the place. Hopefully he doesn't net coat into the arse end of him and cause a collision. He doesn't. Ben Collins has got the job done, but only for a B's whisker, because Rando's just seen that coming and pulled out at the last moment. But however, Collins is on the inside line. Can he keep it together and not understeer too far wide there on this double left-hander? He does the job nicely, and he's got it sorted just on exit there Looks like he's just a little bit too far away for Phil Rando to have half a crack at him. That Porsche looking very, very nice indeed, all over the place internet-wise. Very, very good in a straight line. Is he going to go up the inside? No, he's not. He's going to pull out of that one and let Benny Collins go once again. Very, very good. Looking pretty racy is Benny. He's coming to fruition as well in the final stage of this race. So good to have him up there as well. The final stages, I hope, is where he's going to be. Not at this stage, or in the early stages. Half an hour is now just about to tick over in a minute 45 seconds. And that, at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, is your top 5 in both classes. You've got De Silva, Lawrence, Fraser, Chandra, and Webb all there. Webb, however, is right on the arse end. We better get to this one to see what's going on, because Webb has used up a lot of energy overall on the grand scheme of things. You can see how much is left. He's only got 22% left now. Over Chandra has got 41, so double the amount now for Webbo at the disadvantage. So is he going to go for it here? No, he's showing the nose just to put some pressure on, but it is bringing Gregory Olsen back into this. Oh no, that's Greg Brock, just spun around there right at the wrong time. Just got out of the way beautifully there, but he's a fair way down. He's dead set last in his class is Gregory, so out of this one, out of the race momentarily. He'll keep going on though. He won't DNF, I don't think, with a man who puts his all on himself. But we fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, that all of these guys stick it out for the whole 2 hours coming your way. It's been beautiful so far racing-wise. No real incident, so to speak of. Just sort of, you know, progressionally getting past everyone when they need to, overtaking when they feel like it's a perfect amount of time to do so, and nothing untoward's grand scheme. Not even lap 1 had any incidents either. So playing the long game are all these drivers and doing it very, very well. I can guarantee you that now. Look at Shawnee Madison though, however. He's come up to the back end of Jeremy Talbot. So this is a little bit of a battle brewing. 0.8 of a second between these two now, overall. And we'll have to go back to the mixed standings there and see what it is overall. But nonetheless, 0.8 of a second between Madison and Jeremy Talbot. So this is a little battle brewing here overall. The GT3 cars have basically got tyres and fuel to worry about, where the hypercars have got they've got battery, fuel and tyres to worry about. So they've got 3 things on their mind. And I'll tell you what, Jeremy Talbot well and truly getting out of the slipstream at this point in time. Or is he letting through Shawnee Madison? He is too. So Talbot now just lets Madison through. Not too sure what's going on there between the two of them, but Shawnee's got the easiest overtake of his life tonight and promoted into second place. Job done. Happy days for him. Absolutely happy days for him. It's good to see. Good to have everyone with you. Here in the commentary box is myself, Zaccaroli, tonight. Only one here. And doing Sensational TV proud, and ASA doing their own league proud here with their Pro Series, a 2-hour enduro, and with 26 cars starting, we've had a few casualties. We've had 3 casualties already. We've got 3 out of this one. So 20, there were 26, and then there was 23, ladies and gentlemen. And that's how you go on board. And speaking of going on board, you know, it's a good time. I'm going to chat to you guys in the meantime, but Shawnee Madison doing a very, very nice job indeed in this Corvette. A quick customer winner in the Sprint Series as well. Let's have a look with him. Let's ride on board with him for this whole part of the lap and a little bit more. Back to it. I'll be back here at Sensational TV in just a hot second. And that there is a lap with Shawnee Madison. 13th overall, but 2nd overall in his class. So a beautiful job there from him. Driving very, very nicely indeed is Phil out in front in the not Phil, sorry, Shawnee in the Corvette there. Beautiful sounding car as well. That flat plane V8 just singing to the high heavens there. Oh no, we've got another DNF. Latanzio is just DNF'd out of this one, ladies and gentlemen. So not the best way for him to end proceedings for the evening. Shawnee Madison in 2nd place, right behind him. Here's Jeremy Talbot, only a half a second away, not letting go of him after he let him through a lap and a half ago. So it's interesting now, but I'll tell you what's also interesting is this little gap, Harry Lawrence versus Nick De Silva, who's out in front. That gap is nearly halved. So a little bit of gamesmanship coming into it now. Harry Lawrence has got a little bit more energy left overall compared to the rest of them. And you can see here on the grid formation, you can see that the amount of energy left is very, very low indeed for Olsen and Webb there, so to speak, at 13. So they're going short to this one, and then they'll probably go a medium and then maybe a long one at the end of it, or short, long, medium. Not too sure in terms of their strategy department, but a pit stop is probably about 4 or 5 laps away for these guys. In Olsen and Webb there with 12% left respectively on their batteries. So it's interesting to see, the different driving styles between the two of them. And it's interesting what Nick De Silva does. He keeps it straight, but then you see Harry Lawrence basically using the rear end of the car to just get it pointed in and turned in that Cadillac. So it's very, very nice driving from the both of them respectively, but De Silva at the moment with a little bit of an energy disadvantage. So is the overcut going to work for Lawrence, or is he going to come and undercut him as well? Vice versa for De Silva. Not too sure, but it's looking pretty racy between these top 3 or 4 in general. It's going to be one of those things to look out for overall in the grand scheme of things. It's the closest battle on track is still this one, Talbot versus Shawnee Madison, 2nd and 3rd overall in the LMGT3 class. And it looks like Talbot's having a good old-fashioned tough time trying to navigate this twisty infield section of the Bahrain circuit. And I'm not too sure whether it's advantage BMW or advantage Corvette through this section here. It's pretty even Stevens for them all. It's going between 6 and 7 tenths, just under 6 tenths sometimes as well between the two. They go around the circuit, but nonetheless they're looking very, very racing indeed. So something to think about there. Olsen is really putting the pressure now on Webb, whose tyres are looking a little bit second-hand, I would say, just dancing that arse end of the Lamborghini around. It looks like Webb has got some little bit of damage on the back of his car too. That rear wing not looking too first-hand. It's looking a little bit second-hand on the left-hand side rear of his car. If we quickly have a look and see what we can see from his car as well. If you just see there, you can see it just a little bit hairier, unless that is just the paint job. My goodness gracious me, if that's the paint job, then I'm an absolute donkey. But nonetheless, looking very, very skatey is that Lamborghini, and is using up all the energy he possibly can now. 9% left in the grand scheme of things. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, for the strategical geniuses coming your way for this one. It's looking pretty good indeed. Talbot versus Madison is heating up. And there goes Benny Vinton, 10th overall now, and dead set last in his class by a couple of laps, or nearly a lap or so. Just about under a lap being lapped there too. You can see the leaders in the background there. Looking very, very close indeed to Benny Vintner. But now Shawnee Madison has got a little bit of something to think about, because I think that BMW is pretty slippery in a straight line over the rest of them, but we'll see what they can do. He's 4 tenths away. It's not decreasing at the rate of knots that we assumed it would underneath the rear wing of that Corvette for the BMW. Madison just produces another lap in 2nd place, 3rd place to Jeremy Talbot. Tyson Robbs is 11 seconds away from these boys. Way out in front is this man, doing very, very nicely indeed. That Mustang looking pretty skatey, but planted at the same time. Just got to get that car pointed in, slip angle it in. Don't have any oversteer, don't have any understeer. A little bit is okay, but don't overcook the tyres and just drive within the limits of the car. And that's what you get. Slow in, fast out. You're 11 seconds up the road. Easy as you like. Nick Hill in the other Corvette. It's Corvette versus BMW, second and third, and then switch it around. It's BMW versus Corvette here for ninth and 8th, respectively. In the LMGT3 class, you can see Peter Walt coming up behind them in the hypercar class. Will he get past him on the straight? I don't think he will. He hasn't got enough legs. Although the speed difference is massive in those hypercars, you can see the ever-increasing distance between the two of them. He's going to try and take a 2-for-1 deal up the inside. Oh, he did, but he's punted himself into the back end of Nick Hill. Geez, that was ambitious stuff there from Peter Wall. He's got the job done. He's got past one of them. Now he's got the next one to go down this straightaway. Can he get the job done? Yes, he will. He'll get up the inside there over Ethan Payno. And just at the point of knot, they just see each other right at the last minute. Wall having a mare trying to get around him. He'll use that downforce and just scoot around the outside. Geez, that was hairy stuff indeed. Whew, you don't want that to happen too much in the racing department. Could have taken out Ethan Payno in the grand scheme of things, but nonetheless he's okay and gets through there relatively unscathed. This gap though at the lead here for the hypercar class is decreasing. It was 4-point-something seconds. Now it's 3.1, nearly 2.9 seconds indeed. The difference overall, De Silva versus Lawrence, starting to come to fruition here, and Lawrence has got a little bit more battery there, as you can see overall, for the whole field. In fact, he's got, well, nearly the best one left out of Jeffries and himself, Toyota versus Cadillac. In the hybrid customer department, I know Benny Vincent's got the most, but he is a couple of laps down, so kind of out of that equation nonetheless. We'll see what he can do overall, and it's still decreasing. 3 seconds now is the gap. Got to look out. There is Tyson Robbs right there on screen now, and he is making his way through the field, but he's got those two lead hypercars coming up, and De Silva's going to get through him at the perfect time. I think this is worst case scenario for Harry Lawrence coming through now. We've got to see where he can come into this one. Where is he going to be able to pass Tyson Robbs in this circuit? He's coming up to the tight section. We're coming through the outer loop bit now, and you can see the pace difference between the GT3 cars and the hypercars on board here. He's just going to sail around the outside, or is he? No, he's going to stick it there, try to go for the move once again. And this is hurting his time delta. I can guarantee you it's killing him. 3.5 seconds, 3.7, 3.8. Nearly 4 seconds is the gap at the moment. It's going to be that by the time we get out of this little tight, twisty section. Worst case scenario for Harry Lawrence to come up on the leading LMGT3 car. He gets around him finally there at the point, but that gap has now gone 1 second further out for Lawrence. So it's what sim racing and endurance racing throws at you, ladies and gentlemen. Curveballs left, right, and centre. You get in the perfect point for an overtake on the GT3 car, and then you get in the worst spot. And that is exactly what happened to this man, Harry Lawrence. Unfortunately, we'll have to see what he can do overall for the rest of them. And this battle still is spicy. It's dodgy Vindaloo style now. We're getting there. We're getting close, ladies and gents, to that time of the evening where these guys start to get a little bit racy. Here comes Greg Olsen around the outside of one. Is he going to go around the outside or up the inside of the next one in front? Not too sure how he's going to navigate that. He's going to have to sit behind and wait until he gets that power on and go straight away. See you later. And he'll get past Sean Madison and the Raider Knox. Madison's breathed a sigh of relief there. 8 tenths now between these two as Greg Olsen gets the job done. Circulated once more, and it's battle on here for second and third, respectively. 15 seconds up the road now is Tyson Robbs. Really driving well. 2:28 is his personal best, and these guys are doing 2-minute 30s as their best. So 1.1 second gap difference per lap. Times that by however many laps this one's going to go for, and this is going to be a game, set, and match probably. I would call it very early there for Tyson Robbs, but barring an absolute disaster from him, we'll see what's going on. Oh, geez. So it's incredible sim racing. It gets you all excited and gets you pumped up, and then we got lulls in proceedings. You just sort of think to yourself in the commentary box, you go, well, what is going to happen next? What are we going to see? We're going to see a full course yellow. Are we going to see someone come to fruition? Gregory Olsen's the first one in the pits, though. Let's have a look at that. So now he's in. He's had to call it quits early. Oh, no, he's not the first one in the pits, I would say, because Webb has also already come in and powered up with 62% of battery now. Greg Olsen is doing that, and Olaf goes past him. Where is Matt Webb now? He is rounding... Where is he on the circuit? I think he's coming in to the final sector of this circuit. Yes, he is. This will be the double right-hander down the hill as he goes. Where is Peter Wall? He is out already. Where is Greg Olsen? He's still sitting in the pits now. Matt Webb's rounding the final turn here. So this could be close, ladies and gents. He's now moving. Here's Gregory. What is this going to do for him? Is he going to be able to get out in front of Matt Webb, or is Webby going to undertake him or overtake him just at that point or not? It looks like, I think Greg's going to just come out at the perfect time to hold off Matt Webb, although he's got cold tyres now. So Webb is going to be very, very close indeed to him. Where is he? He's just there now. So he's good 100 or 200 metres away, but on fresh tyres and hot ones too. This is going to be interesting. You can see just get past him now to Greg Olsen. It's only 1 second overall between these two. Have a look at this battle. Now we're getting to that point where it starts to spice up. Olsen, however, has only got 0.4 of a battery left. What has happened to him? Did he not charge his battery? Oh, that is disaster for him. He's slow as slow at the moment. He's about to start going out. Brocky's DNF2 in the background. So is Johnson, also in the GT3 class. Oh, disappointing, but 0.4 of a battery left. Oh, crawling around at this stage is poor old Greg Olsen. Forgot to put the pit strategy marker on, or did he? No, he didn't. It's the timing tower just giving me funny buggers, and Matt Webb has just sailed off into the distance and said, thank you, I'll take that one. Done, dusted, and won. Thank you, Lmu, for making me look like an absolute amateur as well. Loving it. Absolute loving it. Lol Mazzoro, it is definitely live, my friend. I'm talking to you right now. Give me something to talk about here in the chat box. That's for sure. De Silva has got 18% battery left. Lawrence has got 25% energy left. Fraser 16. So we've seen Webb and Olsen, the first guys to come in and take their pit stops early. And with all of that happening, he's set the fastest sector in the middle sector is Matt Webb overall. So finding a bit of pace now and just getting used to those tyres. Is he going too hard too early? Because if you go hard early on those cold tyres, ladies and gentlemen, they scrub up and you start to advance the wear percentage very, very crucially indeed. So something to think about overall. Very, very much something to think about. We'll find out how that plays out. We've had two pits already. Well, two guys pitting in Olsen and Webb. The rest of them still out there at the moment. Benny Vincent is still out there, 31% battery left for him. Fair way off the pace overall, nonetheless. But it's still on like Donkey Kong here between Talbot and Madison. They've not let go of each other at all, these guys. They're racing and they're battling hard, and they've got... who have they got there? That looks like Jeffries right behind them. Trying to get the overtake done is Jeffries, Anthony, that is. He is 5th overall in the hypercar class. And at the worst point of the track, he's getting held up by a country mile. And he's 42 seconds away from taking Eric Chandler's place off him. But Alex Olive, Peter Wall and Matt Webb are going to be approaching at a rate of knots if you can't get the job done. He gets it done now. Right through there, easy as you like. Held up Shawnee Madison for a absolute 15th there. And now Madison's under threat here from Talbot. Talbot's looking very, very racy. Now it's going to be a drag race here between these two. Right up each other's clacker now. BMW versus Corvette. Talbot's got the whole shot. He's got the run. What can he do here? Let's have a look and see what they can do. Up the inside he goes. No, Madison's just braked at the last minute. Still gets it pointed in an apex. Beautiful driving there from both of them. That could have ended in tears. Nonetheless, one brake lock up or a little bit too much apex speed to understeer into the back of Shawnee Madison, and that would have been Talbot absolutely into the stewards department after the race. But nonetheless, it's okay because they've got out of it scot-free, and it's play on once again. Here comes Olive right behind them. Olive's now making his way through 6 overall, 15% left in his energy levels. He's got to come into the pits very, very soon. What is De Silva going to do? Who's going to blink out of these two? It's 6.9 seconds now, the gap. The difference between Lawrence and De Silva. So a little bit of something to think about. Who's going to take on more energy when it comes to this pit stop strategy? I'm not too sure. Not too sure at all. It's going to be interesting to see. Going to be interesting to find out what these boyos can do as well in the grand scheme of things. So we'll find out as De Silva setting up personal best in the first sector, which is quickest overall. 2/10 down, so he's really got to march on now. He's doing race pace qualifying times for him, so to speak. He's going to be doing mid-high 2:13s, I reckon, by the time it goes around. And look at Ethan Payno, just absolutely off. And no, it's not Payno, that's Rando, I think it is. Or is it Payne? I can't remember. Someone is out of it and has gone up. It is Phil Rando. Goodness me. Look at him dancing all over the circuit in the background there. Nonetheless, that's okay. He's all right. As we can see, 4 or 5 cars on the circuit circulating around now. We've just ticked over the, just about to tick into the 50-minute mark of this race. Left is 1 hour and 10 and 43 seconds on the clock. Nick De Silva now. Is he going to come into the pits? No, he's going around one more time to get that job done over the rest of them. So we'll see what these boyos can do in the grand scheme of things. And what an event we've already had so far. We've seen 2 guys come into the pits in the hypercar class. That would be Webb and Olsen. A couple of casualties there on your screen. Latanzio, Sutherland and Huisman all DNFing in the hypercar class. And then you had Gregory Brock and can't remember who the last one was there. Ready to DNF already in this one. Call it quits on the Saturday night. They've got better things to do. It's currently 8:30 local time here in the commentary box. It's about 5 o'clock local on the track as well. So the sun is setting here in Bahrain. You can see it just starting to get that hue in the background. And will we be racing under lights? I'm not too sure. Well, I don't think we will be, but the game will let us know. Dry conditions here as always. Excuse me, in Bahrain, and it's definitely going to be playing into these guys' hands if any sort of predictions come into the weather department. Look at this battle, still on like Donkey Kong between Madison and Talbot. They have gone hammer and tong at each other for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. About the last 35 minutes. Trading paint, trading places, getting in the way of hypercars, getting out of the way of hypercars, losing some sort of battle, losing none. It's just been on like Donkey Kong for the rest of them. And these guys are now still in a little bit of a three-way tussle between the two of them. And Tyson Robbs has come into the pits. And so is Nick Hill as well in the Corvette. No, Nick Hill is DNF'd. He's out of this one as well. More casualties by the minute. Come on, boys. You've got to stick around for this one. But Tyson Robbs, our race leader, is in. He's the first man to blink. So that's 1 hour and 8 minutes left on the clock, which would equal 52 minutes thereabouts of racing before they have to pit stop. So with another 52 minutes to go, these guys are going to have to come in and pit again, I reckon, in the GT3 class for the end of it. Still yet to see the hypercars come into it. Let's have a look at De Silva. He's got 9% of battery left on that hypercar class. And Lawrence right behind him, 17%. So in a good position is Harry at this stage to do so. And the gap is 7.3 seconds between these two, first and second. Fraser, 6 and a bit seconds, 7 seconds around, basically around the back half of the field for these guys. Something to think about. Brocky, if you're out there, mate, tune in and watch the stream. See how your competition's going here. It's going healthy. It's going beautiful. Everyone's having a good crack. You can see we've had a couple of casualties there. Yours included, Greg. And still 21 cars on the circuit. Racing around here nearly halfway through this one. Nearly. But it's still all to play for a lot of these guys. We've got pit stop strategies still to come into fruition here. Nick De Silva has got about 6% of battery left, I would say, in this. And he's right at the worst point now because he's stuck behind Mr. Glastonbury. Right behind him is Benny Vinton trying to unlap himself, I would say, here to get back on that lead lap because he is a lap down. So he's all obligated to get past him. Will De Silva see him and just go, you can go, mate. You've got your own race to run or whatever. But no, he's just galloped away. So bugger off. I'm out. With 7% left in his tank, 5% for Fraser and 7% for Olive. This could be interesting come pit stop time. How many laps off do you reckon they are, viewers? Give me something. Got to have something out there for sure. It's got to be about 1 or 2, I would say, left in the tank for these boys. With under 10% left in their tank of energy. I'll see what happens here. We've got to find out and look out in the next hot minute or two. Excuse me while I take a sip of my water. Get the vocal cords ready to go. Gone around one more time, Mr. Silva. Here leading this race by 7.2 seconds over Harry Lawrence, who has got 12% left, and Fraser's in the pits. So Fraser has called it early. He's there now, just off the blocks, waiting for the fuel to be put in. Tyres are done. Energy levels replenishing. And he's getting a fresh serving of all of that ready to go. So he's dumped down to fourth now. Jeffries is 26 seconds and decreasing at a rate of knots over the rest of them. What can this man do in the pits? We've got to see where he comes out. I reckon Jeffries is going to come into the pits in the next 2 or so laps. So it's not going to hurt Chris Fraser overall in the grand scheme of things. But we'll see where it comes to fruition, because our leader is obviously going to have to come into the pits here now. 3% left on that battery. I reckon this is a lap where he is going to come in and just think about his race pace overall. He's got a good 7 seconds up his sleeve here coming into the back portion of the Bahrain Enduro layout. Where can he put it? Where? I'm not too sure. But he's got past Kurt Moss. He's got past Leitch in there. Cleaned him out. Got him off the roof and said, bugger off, into the bin you go. Got past him. 2% battery. This is definitely going to be his time to pit for now. And using every little inch that he's got left. Lawrence is down to 10% as well. Chandler is on 7. And looks like we've got everyone out of into the pits. Well, into the pits is Alex Olive now. Geez, it's all happening. These guys are ready to go. The chat is a bit quiet out there. Come on, you got to give me something out there, boyos. Talk to me. What do you think's going to happen? Are we going to see a change in place between Lawrence and De Silva by the time we come down? Because at this rate, with an hour and 3 minutes left in this one, they're not going to get around before they have to go in unless they're in full conservation mode. And speaking of conservation mode now, into the pits comes our race leader. Overall on the grid, De Silva, he's in. And now he's about to go and refill it up. Where is Harry Lawrence going to go? He's around. He's already gone one more time. I reckon with that energy level, if he doesn't use it all up, he might have 2 more laps before he has to come in, which could put him in a great position for the end of the race here if they both go for a full tank of energy, or if they go for an energy-saving next stint coming their way. Something to think about. Eric Chandler is in the pits now too, so he's pitting in. He's about to go into his box, and will be out there. Fraser has come out with 85% of battery, so he's calculated that should be enough, I would say, for the end of it, barring an absolute disaster for the rest of them. And we've got Shorty Madison's just come out of the pits. Glastonbury's come in as well, so they've gone down. Tyson Robbs also, in the meantime, has come into the pits from the lead, so he's come out in 4th place overall. He's got a good 50-odd seconds, I reckon, between himself and the leader at the moment, which is Talbot over that. But Madison blinked first over himself and Talbot, so Talbot's still circulating around. Has he got enough fuel in the tank to go? So De Silva's now in the pits too. So these guys are pitting out for De Silva now. And he's going to come out and replenish that energy. Ignore what the timing tower says there. 0.8, it's not accurate. It will refresh itself very, very soon indeed. Where is De Silva when he comes out? He is out at the moment and circulating around. So we'll see what the energy levels say for him in due course on this pit strategy. How much has he put in the tank? We'll find out very, very soon once that timing tower updates there. I'm going to be looking at that like an absolute hawkeye for the next one. Harry Lawrence at 7% is rounding the second last turn in just a hot second. Will we see him come into the pits? And you can see it's 83% there for Fraser, 84 now for De Silva. Will that be enough? What has Harry Lawrence got left to do? Is he coming in? No, he's going around one more time. So he has done another lap here, ladies and gentlemen. Further than what we anticipated. Got to be there. Disaster, Brockery. Yep, unfortunately, mate, that's racing sometimes. But good to have you in the chat nonetheless. And watching on from a distance here. Hopefully you're getting some bush tucker into you. And just keeping yourself replenished and refueled for the next hour and a minute left to go in this race. Credit to you as well for putting this event on and getting it all up and ready for rocking and rolling. Shout out to Shawnee Brimblecombe and Sammy Austin in the stewards box there watching on as well. checking that everyone does everything by the books. Harry Lawrence is your leader on the screen. 5% left in his battery levels at the moment. He'll be coming in for his pit stop too, with the Silver on 83%, Chandler on 78, 82 for Olaf. These are your boys, and looking for hopefully a one-stopper for this race rather than a two-stopper, because that could hurt them in the grand scheme of things. But Lawrence really pushing it out to the next hour or so. So he's realistically in the best possible position to maybe get some battery left in the tank. That is Vintner in front of him, who was unlapped himself, but now sort of a cork in the bottle situation there for Talbot too. He just got out of the way. Vintner sees him coming, lets him go through very nicely indeed. Casualties: Brock, Latanzio, Sullivan, Hoisman and Johnston as well. So very, very, very dismal. And Hill too. Hill's DNF'd as well. Oh no, disaster for Hill. He's out of this one. He's called it quits. Not the best possible position for him as we go racing. Still 59 minutes 46 seconds left in the tank for this race in terms of timing, but 4% left overall for Harry Lawrence. So he's got to look up and down the field. Under an hour left to go. Halfway point has been reached, ladies and gentlemen, and gone 30 seconds ago. Lawrence has got a pit stop right about now, I would say, before he goes around and gets to the end. It's going to be on for De Silva, though, unless Lawrence is not pitting. No, he is pitting. He's coming in now. And that is him done for this stint. Where is De Silva? He is 81 seconds right at that point, ladies and gentlemen. So that is how far he was away. But when you're standing still, that comes down at a rate or not. So I'll give you the hot tip. Will Lawrence be able to undercut here for the... or overcut, sorry. He'll be overcutting for the lead of the race. Or is Nick De Silva going to be in the prime position to take this one? He's got to look at his battery level, 79% with just under halfway left in this one. What's Lawrence going to do? Is he going to be thinking the long game? Is he going to replenish that energy with only 4% in the tank versus 2% by the time they both came around? At this stage, it's about an 8% overall advantage in Harry Lawrence's way, to be quite truthful. So something to think about there. For the rest of these guys, it's going to be interesting. Shawnee Jacobs and Talbot, both in the pits from P1 and 2 provisionally. Tyson Robbs is about to go over the start-finish line and overtake these two for P2. P1 will be done now, and there he goes. And these boys are still sitting in the pits waiting to go. What does Harry Lawrence do? He's just coming out now. Nick De Silva, he's going down the front straight away. So it's still the undercut has worked there for De Silva. And he's galloping off at a rate of knots, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds now by the time Harry Lawrence gets going. And that is a very, very nice place to be for De Silva. He's got hot tyres and he's 10 seconds up the road now. And he will be, by the end of this race, even more so, at the end of this lap, sorry, by a lot more with cold tyres for Harry. But a lot more energy left in the tank. We'll get back to that once we see what's going on. You can see Lawrence feverishly warming up those tyres at any point that he possibly can just to get these apex speeds 1 or 2 kilometres better than what they would be if they were cold as an Eskimo's tool. And nonetheless, we'll see what they can do, that's for sure. Going to be interesting to see. Rob's way out in the lead, 13 seconds now over Shawnee Madison in the GD3 class, and Jeremy Talbot 17 seconds behind him. So big leap there for Shawnee over Jeremy. And 2 Shawns. We've got Sean Madison and Sean Jacobs. Sean because Sean's is spelt S-E-A-N. Sean because his is spelt exactly how it sounds. Just for a little bit of insight. But 13 seconds, 12 and a half-ish now. Those tyres have just got up to temperature there for Lawrence. Let's quickly check their energy levels remaining. And 88% now for Harry Lawrence. Oh, gee, this could be going Lawrence's way overall. De Silva's cutting it fine from my anticipation in the overall battery department. We'll see what these guys can do by the time it gets down to the last 10 minutes, because that's when it's going to be. That's the overall position, ladies and gents. It's the overall sort of position for the rest of them. So we'll find out. It's something to behold, something to think about, and keep viewing, because at the moment it's on like Donkey Kong under the last hour here in this one. It's been great to have you with us so far. If you've liked what you've seen so far, give me a like, give me a shout out in the chat. It's been fantastic to have you with me so far, and you can see here, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and also share our videos. Click that notification bell also as we go around, because we've got plenty going on. Tomorrow night we're also on here at Sensational TV for another event at AK Racing in the Classic V8s too. So very, very good. Very nice to have you, and it's incredible to be part of this one. I'm loving every moment so far. You can see Benny Vincent on 7%. He'll be coming into the pits too. So will Olsen on 32, and Webb with 29% left. They're going to have to go for a two-stopper here tonight. But this man on screen, second overall, but with the most energy level in the tank out of everyone on the circuit, putting himself in that prime position. 15 seconds is the gap now between himself and De Silva. Not too shabby at all. Not too shabby with all of the battling going on. About time, boyos. You in the chat, give me someone you want to ride on board with for a lap here. Give us something in the chat, because we'll go straight to them, have a listen to that engine sound, and go forwards from there. I've got a couple of favourites. I've got the Porsche in the LMGT3s. I've got the Cadillac in the hypercars. And then also the Toyota in the hypercars too. They're pretty cool. And the Aston Martin, actually. So give me something. Tell me what you guys want to hear on board. We'll cross to them and go on board with them for a lap around this beautiful circuit that we've got here at Bahrain International. It is the endurance layout, ladies and gentlemen. If it looks a bit weird, you're wondering where the hell they're all going. What is that infield sort of action? Well, we're on the endurance circuit. 24 corners, and a lot of toing and froing in the department side of things. All right, thank you, James. Good to have you with us. You're the first man to get in, so we're going to go on board with the brick himself, Mr. Peter Wall, and go around for an onboard lap here. If I can get the camera going, there we go. On board, let's have a look and see how he's driving the wheels off this Cadillac. It is a beautiful sounding car. Stick around, I'll be back here in the comms box, but for now, enjoy. Not too shabby indeed there from Peter. Just ran wide a little bit there at the point of knot, but still managed to get that car sorted and pointed in, that Cadillac. Sounding glorious, and beautiful looking car too. Looks absolutely incredible. The all the colours of the badging there. The factory works livery. Looking very, very nicely indeed on track. It's still 13 seconds away from the lead for Nick De Silva. We'll get the onboard HUD away. Timing tower back on board for you guys. And looking a little bit racy there at the moment, because with the energy levels, we've got to keep an eye on that. It's a long race. It's a big talking point because De Silva's at 65% and Lawrence at 78. Looks like he is in the prime seat at the moment. Speaking of which, Wall also there, Peter Wall, he's got 74% as well. 99 seconds away off the lead, but only 50 seconds off his next compatriot of Eric Chandler down the road, who has got 64% left on his battery too. So something to think about there for Eric. But Olsen's going to be coming way out of this one, and so is Webb too, 21%. They're going to have to two-stop and re-energise that car, getting ready to go as well for the rest of the race. But nonetheless, it's looking pretty good at the moment there, I reckon, for Lawrence versus De Silva for a box office finish there at this stage. Massive gaps on the track at the moment. Got to get into some philosophical questions, I would say, out there in viewership land. Would you rather be alive on a desert island with all the food in the world and no human connectivity, or have $15 million in the bank in the Hollywood Hills, not working, but you can only withdraw $100 a day for the rest of your life? Which one do you reckon? Give us an answer in the chat. Which one's more beneficial? I would probably say the castaway life, to be honest, but nonetheless, it could be. That's my answer to the question. Give us yours out there. Surely we've got something going on there in the chat, because this racing at the moment is on, and it's 1.9 seconds away for Gregor Olsen over Fraser in front of him, using up the last bits of his battery, trying to gain some sort of momentum, I would say, because at this stage it looks like it could be a two-stopper for some drivers, or a one-stopper for some. Webb's in the two-stop, and so is Olsen in the two-stop category at this stage. They're out of sync with the rest of them in terms of the energy department. Hopefully Webb can pull this off and maybe get himself a top 5. That could be interesting in the Lamborghini. Only one in the field of the hypercar class, and doing very, very nicely indeed, navigating his way around. Benny Collins a stig, but losing it on exit there too. Oh, that was hairy stuff, but he's going to get that job done finally. Thank goodness for that. He'll be ready to rock and roll for this one. It's pretty honest in terms of the Lamborghini's pace, but he's using a lot of battery to make himself up into those top 3. And with himself, he's only got 5 seconds between himself and Chris Fraser, then 7 seconds between himself and Greg Olsen. So he's going to lose 2 places. I reckon maybe even 3 just by the time he comes into pits. Peter Wall might be on his clacker by the end of it. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. We'll find out. We'll find out for the rest of the race. Tyson Robbs, however, is just country miling this at the moment. 23 seconds away from any threat overall. Just driving the wheels of it. Phil Rando way off the track, getting out of his way at this stage. Doing nicely. 9th overall is Phil Rando, but pinging to the absolute high heavens in the netcode department. It's getting a little bit spicier. Ladies and gents, the gaps are starting to decrease here. Overall, Gregory, 2 seconds away. 5 seconds away is Chris Fraser from Matt Webb in front of him as well. You can see where he is. He's just getting out of turn 3 now onto turn 4. As we come through, gets around Glastonbury easy as you like, right at the perfect point. He'll gallop away at the moment, but we'll be having to come into the pits shortly for an energy replenish. Plug that car into the fast charger, and off they go for another one as well. Yeah, could be interesting. What have we got out there at the moment in the chat land? I wouldn't want to die fat and alone on an island, says F22 Nick. Well, Don't have to be fat, mate. You've got all the workout equipment there with trees to do some pull-ups on. You can do bench press. You can do calisthenics. You can do bloody anything out there to keep yourself fit. What I didn't say is what happens if there's some wildlife on that island? What happens? Could be interesting. Could be interesting. We'll see what we've got. Anyone else out there, give us something so far, because the answers have got to come in quick and fast here, else you guys are going to have nothing to talk about in the grand scheme of things. But the racing is still happening. We're looking very, very spicy here for a little bit of an overtake. Gregory Olsen is now climbing onto the back of Fraser there. You can see the energy levels there. Fraser's got 56%. Olsen's using up all his battery trying to get that overtake done to minimise any damage that will possibly be coming his way. Bar a disaster for Olsen as well, 16% at this stage. He could be in it for the long haul, just to be able to push to the end with plenty of battery left, and these guys will be starting to be replenished. So could be a reverse strategy for these guys. Same thing with Webb, who is there in third place overall, 14% left on his battery. Lawrence is definitely in the best photo position at the moment to take the checkered flag. See what he can do by the time it gets down. 44 minutes left in this one. We've had plenty of racing going on up and down the field. The guys are looking pretty on song overall in terms of that, and you can see right now that gap is pretty close indeed. Overall, it's only half a second now between Olsen versus Fraser. Fraser on the battery replenishing sort of side of things. Olsen just going hammer and tong with 15% left. He's using up all that momentum he possibly can use to maybe get that overtake done at this stage. Fraser's 55% left with 43 minutes left. Geez, that's going to be a tough one to ask for. Same with the silver as well. 68 for Harry Lawrence. 14.5 seconds away from any threat from that man is the silver. So we'll see what he can do as it comes through. But this is the battle on track at the moment. Even Jeffries as well is on the back of Olaf too. So another little spiced up battle starting to get into fruition here. That lull in proceedings never leaves you without some imagination, because Olaf versus Wall, they're both pretty much, with 10% difference overall, 9%, but they could be in for a battle by the time it comes around. Who goddamn it knows? When's Webb going to come into the pits? He's on 11%. Where is he on the track? He's just off there in the distance, only 5 seconds away from those two behind him. Yellow flag on circuit. Someone has come amiss there. Cannot see who it is, but he's back on the circuit now. Doesn't matter. All ready to go. That Lamborghini sounds pretty good too. I don't mind the sound of that thing. That's nice. Very nice. The best sounding Lamborghini. That's another one. While we're on board with him, is it the Lamborghini Moira or Mura or whatever you want to call it, or is it the Murcielago versus Aventador battle? Which one would you have? Both the same engines, but the Aventador is the modern version of that, whereas the Murcielago has got the rawness. You can get it in a manual, you can get it in a DCT or whatever you want to call it. Which one would you say is the best one over all of the viewers out there? Give us something in the chat there. Looking very, very nice. Is this Lamborghini at the moment of Webby? Beautiful stuff there from Matthew. Just driving very, very nicely indeed. 9% left. He's probably got 1 or 2 laps left in the tank to get that job done. And maybe a undercut at the end of this one is going to be on, because he set the fastest lap of the race at 2:12.747 is that of Matt Webb. So he's got a point up the bag at the moment. Beautiful stuff from him. That Lamborghini, as I said, this guy is aging like fine wine as it comes through the racing, and could be on for a little bit of a reverse sort of strategy here. Those guys behind him with 51% left in the tank are going to be pushing it to the end just at that point or not. He'll be able to come in to a quick splash and dash, I reckon, and go to get himself secured for the end if it comes to fruition for him. So that's your fastest guy on the circuit at the moment on screen, and doing very well. AF22 Nick, thank you, giving us the Murcielago. I would agree. I would tend to agree. I need a grey one. I need an LP 640 grey manual in my life, and if if the old Bitcoin sometimes gets me into a position where I can buy one, I will buy one. But it's Murcielago for me and F22. What about the rest of yous in the chat there? Aventador or Murcielago in terms of best sounding? Not the car, just the best sounding one. Give us your predictions in the chat there, or your views as well. It's interesting to see here as well. Webbo is the man on your screen at the moment, getting some nice screen time indeed. The GT3 cars are all separated by an average of about 20 odd seconds. Jeremy Talbot versus Shawnee Madison battle is 6 seconds healthy at this stage. So we'll see what they can do overall in the grand scheme of things. You can see it on screen there. Talbot 6.5 seconds away from Shawnee Madison. Just driving very nicely in the BMW. We haven't heard much of this car tonight, in fact, so we might hear just a little bit more for this proceedings here. I'm going to give the vocal cords a breather, and I'll be back with you here in a lapse time around the ASA Pro Series here at Bahrain Endurance Circuit. Don't go anywhere. Ooh, not too bad there. Not too bad from Jeremy. He's 13th overall, but only 4 seconds now away from this man on circuit. And well, this man on circuit, if I can get to him, is Shawnee Madison there. You can see Jeremy off there in the distance, just rounding that final turn. And right as I've got to come back, I've got to sneeze. Excuse me. And this is the race that we were hoping to probably see between second and third. Getting a little bit hairy in the LMGT3 class at this stage. They're looking a little bit racier. Now the gaps are starting to decrease. Tyson Robbs is just out by half a minute over the rest of them. But the hypercar battle is starting to decrease a little bit. It's 11 seconds now between Harry Lawrence and Nick De Silva on the circuit. So we're getting to that 35-minute stage now. That's an hour and 25 gone. And, yeah, it could be interesting, ladies and gents, because the battery levels at the moment are looking pretty spicy. 42% left now for De Silva. Can he negotiate that little hurdle? I'm not too sure. But Lawrence, however, has got 56%, 14% more overall. Webber's got 62%, so he's in a hot stop at the moment. Olsen's in the pits also, so that gap is going to decrease very quickly because Eric Chandler is coming at a rate of knots now. He's about to round the final turn and onto the front straight, and Gregory Olsen's still sitting there stationary. So Chandler is going to promote himself back into 4th place with 47% left of energy. With 34 minutes left to go, we're getting to that point now. De Silva's really climbed down. He's at 40% now. 55 overall for Lawrence in 2nd place. But Chandler on screen at the moment, 47%, looking very hairy at this stage, I would say as well, to maybe get to the end. Oh, it's going to be spicy at the end for these hypercar guys. Who's going to have the 2-stop it? Who's going to be the 1-stopper? We've already seen that Webb, Wall and Jeffries have come in for their 2-stopper. Vinton the same as well. Vinton is still a lap down overall on that class, and it's going to be interesting to say. We'll see it. Thank you for Pearso and Maury revving me up in the chat there. How does the virtual energy work in these cars? Well, it just works. Let's put it that way. No, in all seriousness. It's up to you as a driver to use it when you need to. And you can concurrently use it, but it always comes down to the rate of knots anyway, because it's up for horsepower, which equals race pace. So you've got to strategically work it in your own favour. There's no recharge like well, there is a little bit, but not as much as a Formula 1 car, that they can just recharge it every lap and then go for it and then do that sort of thing. But in a long-winded form, that's how it works. In a short-winded form, it just keeps getting used up like fuel. It's as simple as that. And if you run out, you've got no horsepower. So you better come in and do a pit. That's for sure. Nonetheless, it's racing on. Chandler has got 45% left on his stream of energy at the moment. That battery's looking pretty good. We've got Nick De Silva out there with 38% left. With 32 minutes left in this race, it's nearly 1% a minute, which is not going to work out because they use about 2% a lap, I would say, or nearly 3 if they're right on the conservative levels. So he might just have to be on, but Harry Lawrence really in a perfect position here to possibly take this one out. He's just got to keep it straight. No unforced errors from him. And he'll probably be sitting pretty for this one. It's an average of about 18 seconds between this whole hypercar class in the battling. And Talbot has climbed right onto the back here of Shawnee Madison. So that gap has really decreased now. It's Talbot there. Payno is a lap down on these guys. So he's sitting off in the background just watching these guys come to fruition. But Talbot now looking pretty racy indeed. We can see how that car looks. In fact, we'll go for the better view of the lot, not the behind. In front, there we go. And you can see Shawn Madison now really struggling with the grips of that Corvette in front. He's very taily. That tyre on the rear end looks very used. Overall, at the front tyres on the BMW, I would say, are probably used up as well. But that doesn't hurt you on the traction. Shawnee Madison just trail braking and then even braking some more mid-corner just to settle the arse end of that thing down. In the Corvette department, you can see it there. He's really trying to pull it up before it skates wide. Probably negating any chance of that tyre sliding too much as well, just to keep the tyre life going on. So another thing to think about driving standards department, but it's not helping him overall in the pace because Talbot is right there with him. Fighting it tooth and nail with 31 minutes left in this one. It could be interesting. Let's just keep an eye on it because these guys are now in a good old-fashioned tussle. Right at the same point, right? Same strategy, realistically, for the both of them. And it's looking racy indeed. I like it when these guys come close together because they can basically start thinking about who's going to use the most fuel, who's going to use the most tyre, what strategy can we think about overall when it comes to pit stops. And these boyos are the best in the bizzo to do that at this stage. The energy levels up there are the most relevant things because everyone is like 10 plus 20 plus 30 seconds away from anyone overall. And I reckon by the time of we get to that stage where it's now literally on the knife's edge here for De Silva to get to the end of the race without having to pit stop again. Harry Lawrence is in the best possible place in the hypercar class. Talbot versus Madison is very, very spicy. They're just driving perfectly, these two. They're not letting go of each other at any stage. And it's just a matter of who's got the biggest balls at the end of it, I would say, to maybe get that energy working. But nonetheless, we'll see what's going on. We'll see what's going on. We'll find out in the grand scheme of things. It's looking very, very nice indeed. We've got a lot of things to think about. There's Chandler going past him in the hypercar class. He's flashing the lights, getting out of the way nicely, just at the right point in time. Shorty Madison really late on the apex there, but gets it pointed in, nosed in. That's the difference between rear engine or mid-engine versus front engine, guys. It's very, very pointy on the pendulum effect. You've got to drive them differently. It suits you or it doesn't suit you as a driver. Like a lot of people love Porsches just because it suits it, but then at the track, there's just no way that you can overcome the physics overall and go forward from there. You can see how far off they are on the target lap time, which is the hypercar class. By the first sector alone, they're 6.2 seconds off that lead of the hypercar guys. That is the difference. 6 seconds. If you count that on your finger, by the time they go past the finish straight line, that is incredible stuff. It's not what you want to have, but let's go. What's my favourite of the GT3 cars, says Braden Moore in the chat. My favourite overall, in terms of looking, it's probably the Aston Martin. It's definitely the best looking one, I would say, out there. But in terms of overall aggression and you know, driving the wheels off it, it's got to be a tie between the Porsche and this BMW M4. The M4 looks like it wants to kill you. It's that aggressive. Or overall, it's an awesome looking car. Nice on the circuit, nice in real life as well. They've done a great job here to replicate what it sort of looks like, or what it could look like on circuit versus in real life. But what's yours, Maury? Give us your answer in the chat there as well. Just give us to talk about there. And we'll go forwards from there nonetheless. But it's all happening. De Silva at 29 versus 27 minutes is still keeping it above the minute versus percentage at this stage, but the gap at the moment between the two of them is starting to ever decrease. Talbot has just had a mare there on exit, so he's let Shorty Madison go by about a couple of tenths of a second there. Let's bring up the overall gap leader to next, and it is now 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 10 seconds is it between De Silva and Lawrence. Lawrence in the perfect place here to get through to the end. De Silva on a knife's edge. Can he get there in De Silva? I'm not too sure. Nick, you got to get your energy levels starting to think about it. You're probably thinking, well, yeah, I already know that, mate, because I'm bloody racing the car. But nonetheless, you got to get thinking in the grand scheme of the department. That's for sure. We'll see what these boyos can do. Madison is now struggling a lot. You can see the pace difference. Talbot is just trying to find a place where he can get past him at a rate of knots here, because it is a definite cork in the bottle situation for Madison over Talbot. Oh no, they've punted each other. That is a collision we didn't want to see. What happened to Shorty Madison? Did he lose it at the last minute and just had to check up on the brake pedal to stop himself from spinning around, or was that a deliberate act? Oh, the stewards are going to have to look at that one in replay. We'll find out. I'm not too sure what's going to happen there. Ooh, that's spicy stuff, but a bit of damage nonetheless on the front end and the rear end of both of these cars. So it could hurt them overall. Maybe just the old equaliser there for Shorty Madison, just going, oh, you can damage my rear and you can have your front damaged, and then we're equal on pace again, Champo. But nonetheless, here comes Webbo trying to get up the inside. He's just got the job done there on Talbot, and it's going to help Shorty Madison here because that would have hurt Talbot on the exit. Shorty Madison, yeah, Talbot not too happy about that one. A bit ambitious there from Webbo in 6th place. Let's see where he's looking on the virtual energy energy position. Where we go, there we go, trying to get that up. Webbo on 48%, 25 minutes left in this one. He's going to get to the end. Is De Silva and Fraser though? That's questionable. I don't think they're going to get to the end, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to have Chandra and Olsen and Webbo in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th by the end of it. That could be interesting. It's going to be all hell for leather. De Silva's just tried his heart out the whole race. Led and led and led and led so far. Is it going to come to fruition with 8 seconds now, the gap between those two? As you can see there on your screen, 9 seconds in fact now. Just catfishing me. Oh, there goes a move. That was Shawnee Madison losing it, and Talbot's got past him. Oh my goodness gracious me, as I was clicking through to the circuit right on the final corner of the lap. They've got the job done, but Talbot is what? Not letting him go, surely. I don't know what's going on here between the two of them. They're sort of a drag race style down the front straightaway. Madison on the outside, Talbot on the inside. Inside for Talbot. He's got the braking done. Can he pull it up at the last minute? He can. Madison now is just going to have to settle at the moment for 3rd place. He couldn't hold back Talbot. It was a gallant effort from Shawnee there for a long, long time there, but I think the tyres on that Corvette are absolutely toast for him. And it looks like Madison's trying to go back up the inside, but can Talbot keep that car pointed in the right direction? He's got some clean air out in front of him now. It is now a good half a second between the two of them. Talbot, not the best under brakes. Madison really had a good line into that line, but now it's all through the tight, twisty section where we saw Shawnee Madison just checking up on every single apex, trying to get that car pointed in the right direction. You can see now it's 0.3 of a second alone through these 4 to 5 corners. And that is advantage to Jeremy Talbot, and I think Shawnee Madison is going to have to settle for 3rd. 11 seconds between himself and Sean Jacobs. So Sean and Sean abreast, 3rd and 4th, so to speak. And now Talbot's just got to keep his eyes forward because Tyson Robbs is 35 seconds up the road, and that is all over bar the shouting there at the moment. We've got a yellow flag on the track again. It's gone. Thank you very much. Just cars out on the circuit. Harry Lawrence is your man on the screen at the moment. Let's have a break in proceedings here. Before I do that, I'm a bit of sucker for the American Mobile, the Mustang. Its deep growl is awesome. Well, I would tend to agree. It does sound bloody good. That is for true. It's sort of like the Cadillac of the GT3 class is that Mustang. It sounds the best, I reckon, the Cadillac. But nonetheless, Harry Lawrence is your man on screen. Let's have a look and see what we can see from his onboard. We go around one more time here with Harry Lawrence for a beautiful lap around the Bahrain circuit. Geez, doesn't that Cadillac sound beautiful? Geez, it sounds good. Holy mackerel. It's just an absolute thing in itself, that car. They did a great job. They did a great job indeed, those boyos there at Cadillac, that's for sure. I love it. And the gap is still 10.5 seconds between these guys, 1 and 2. Harry Lawrence on board. We just saw him there. And then we've got Nick De Silva out in front by 10 seconds. But the biggest story is here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look at that. 19 minutes left and 16% battery. It's all over for De Silva. This guy has run a beautiful race. I'm going to call it early here and say it is all over for him. Got a message in the chat. Hey, Sensational, you guys live streaming the Far Gone Season 20 in the GD3 series? I would hope so. Lindsay Buttle will be bringing you that one. If that's the case, Thin Limbs. And we'll see what comes to fruition there. It's been great to broadcast that. I jumped in for a first half of a race. I think it was the second last round of the series. And good racing there on ACC, that's for sure. And we'll see there. See you guys there, hopefully for the next season as well, which is great. But De Silva on track. Poor old De Silva, 15% battery, 18 minutes left in this one. Lawrence has just timed this beautifully. He's negated this deficit that he had over De Silva. De Silva's going to have to come into the pits, I would say, and call it a day for P1. Going to have to settle for maybe for third, maybe for fourth. I don't know. We'll probably get fourth, I reckon, because Fraser. Oh no, Fraser's got 15% as well, so it will be possibly third there for De Silva after all the hard work out in front, enjoying that clean, beautiful air, so to speak. But I could be wrong. But let's just leave it at that, shall we? We'll just leave it at that for this one. It's going to be an interesting event for the evening. Tyson Robbs, way out there in front in GD3 land. 38 seconds away from Jeremy Talbot. Talbot's got rid of Shorty Madison by 7 seconds now, so that is all over, and the rest of the gaps are 7 seconds, and that's 40, 39, 92, 12.5, and 79. Between the GD3 guys, they're just racing around for the sake of points at the moment, which is great. But Olsen, with 38% left on his battery, he's going to get there. Eric Chandler should get there as well, but it's only a second difference now between these two. So a little bit of a spicy battle coming up for these boys. A little bit something to think about here for the fourth place, fighting over fifth and fourth here for the last 17 minutes of this 2 hour. It's been great to have you all with me so far in the chat. It's we've got Rifki in here. Fiat, hello mate. He's cheering on Eric as well, which is great. Good to see you here, Rifki. Loving having you on board as well for the stream. Geez, he's got a little bit of a task in front of him, because it looks like at the moment Eric is under all sorts of pressure here from Gregory, and you can see the battery levels at the moment. Gregory's got about 10% more left there exactly between the two of them. They're rounding the final corner here on the Bahrain circuit. Are we going to get a bit of a suck battle here? Oh, not if Gregory just does that. Eric's just been released from the shackles of that Alpine for another probably half a lap here. 2-minute 15s is what they're doing at the moment. The quickest guy on the circuit is still Matt Webb, 2:12.747. He's beaten De Silva for that by a 10th and a half. So a very nice drive from him there so far. But 16 minutes and 6 seconds left on this one. It's all happening, and in comes Matt Webb to the pit stop just as I called him. So he did not have enough energy to get to the end, and I don't think De Silva's going to do it either. Out in front there. Oh, Chandler's had a mare there. Ran really wide, but it didn't really hurt him that much, because he didn't have to come back to the actual Bahrain GP circuit there. He just let it coast wide, and it sort of helped him there as well. But he's now got, that would be the Lichen in front of him, Mossy. Just right at the worst point of the circuit to be in the way. He's just got out of the way of them both very, very nicely indeed. Well done, Mossy. That's beautiful stuff there. And let these guys battle on for another lap or so. Cracking event, this one tonight. An hour and 45 minutes just about done. And these guys have put on a show here for the last 15 odd minutes, I reckon. We're going to see something come to fruition here. De Silva out in front, 9% left. Harry Lawrence on 26%. Fraser on 12th, and now Eric's in a bit of strife there as well. He's just losing that house end of the Ferrari there, looking a little bit toey at the moment. Is Gregory Olsen. He's probably thinking, I've got half a chance here. I'm only half a second away, and it looks like my rear tyres are in better condition than that guy in front of me of Eric. But nonetheless, Going to be cracking stuff. Come on, Gregory, push. Says F22 Nick. Got a bit of spice up in the chattel there, in the chat. Good to see. We've got a Fiat on the Eric train. F22 Nick on the Gregory train. So a little bit of cheering in the background there, coming from the grandstands on the YouTube land. 14 minutes left in this one. De Silva is going to come into the pits in the next 2 laps. 400% that's going to happen. Lawrence is going to inherit the lead. Chandra is going to inherit second place by the looks of that too. By the timing tower at this stage, it could be, or maybe not for Eric. He's 63 seconds away, so I don't think it might be a podium. It might not. But we'll see as that gap decreases as we go on. This is Chris Fraser in third place, however. 14 minutes left. 9% battery left on that Porsche. Penske Motorsport there. Driving very, very nicely indeed. De Silva's going to have to come in too in the other Penske Motorsport Porsche liveried vehicle there too. So he's coming in. He's around at the double left right-hander. Coming onto the front straightaway in about 5 or 6 seconds. And he's got Jeffries in front of him there to be lapped. But I don't think that'll happen for much longer. He's got to come into the pit surely. 13 minutes will be spewing. They didn't take on a little bit more battery because I reckon that could have helped him. That extra 5 seconds of battery might have got him there. It might have. But we'll find out. You just never know. It is sim racing after all. And that is the beauty of it. Got to support my Alpine brothers. Well, of course, Nick. Of course, you've got to do it. Olsen getting closer. Yes, he is. He's getting very close indeed. In fact, it is looking very, very racy between these two. 0.6 of a second, 0.5 of a second. Let's have a look and see what we can see on board here from the man himself, Eric, getting there. What's the gap to P2? It is 10 seconds at the moment, but it doesn't matter. It's all going to be there. Showed a GD3 battle. Are you talking about Tyson Robbs versus Talbot? Because Tyson Robbs has had to come into the pits, ladies and gentlemen. He was leading by a country mile, but now he has got a very, very spicy Jeremy Talbot in front of him. Is Talbot going to have to pit as well? I'm not too sure if he is at this stage because Tyson Robbs has leading by 30 odd seconds and he has absolutely lost that lead. What has happened to him? Wowee. That would have to have been a pit there for, and Hugo has definitely caught me on that one. Thank you so much for that, because I'm too busy looking at 5 different things at this stage, being solo in the commentary box, and it's now a lead change between Talbot and Tyson. We've got 12 minutes left in this one. Is there going to be a pit stop for Talbot? Has that been just the undercut for Tyson Robbs that he needed? He doesn't look like he's going too racy at this stage. Oh no, he actually got a drive-through for a weird track cut. Okay. That's incredible. That is something that we haven't come to fruition. Very, very good pickup there, Hugo. Thank you for that. Didn't even know that was going on because I cannot see what else is happening. Yellow flag still out on the circuit at this stage, but a beautiful little scenario coming here. De Silva is not far off, coming into the pits, 10 seconds away. Still is Harry Lawrence from him. But this little battle here is the one we've got to look out for, and it looks like Talbot's definitely got the pace. He's gapped old Tyson here. It's 8 tenths now. It was 5 tenths, and now it's 8. So a little bit of something to go on for these GD3 guys, the LMGD3 class. Still something to think about overall. And Shawnee Madison's only 6 seconds away from, if these guys come together, Shawnee Madison will be right up there, clacker too. And that is it. De Silva's in the pits. Lawrence has gone right past him. Oh, what a disaster for this bloke. He would be absolutely spewing at this stage. He's just coming in for a splash and dash, ladies and gentlemen. And that is disaster. Harry Lawrence has inherited the lead, and he's going to take this one to the checkered flag, I would say, because the amount of energy left on his car is 19, and there is 10 minutes left. So he's just going to cut it, I reckon, by the time he gets around here for the final time. He's got such a gap. He's got 35 seconds between himself and De Silva. Chris Fraser is also in the pits too, so he did not make it either. De Silva was right there, 42, 43 odd seconds. So Lawrence can just coast around. Is absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you what, this guy, Harry Lawrence, is just an absolute wizard when it comes to energy saving. I don't know how he does it. I don't know what he does, but he is just a wizard at that sort of stuff. He literally just gets in the best position at the best time. He's done it numerous times in LMU. He's come from nowhere at Interlagos. He's come through again and taken the chockies. I think it was at, I can't remember where it was. Maybe it was Japan, I think it was. I can't remember where it was. But anyway, he's just the man on the energy department. And to back me up in the chat there, he's Rifkir Fiat. Yep, absolutely. He's the mastermind of the energy department. That is for sure. And he's going to win this one comfortably. Overall, what a cracking drive from him. We'll congratulate him further once he crosses the finish line, because you don't want to commentator curse him. But it's still on here at the front of the GT3 class. Robs versus Talbot. And I think Talbot has definitely got the chockies over him. 7/10 now. Tyson has not been able to get past, and I think that was part of his strategy. If he didn't get that cut, he would have just coasted around there without having to take another pit stop. And at this stage, he's probably in a bit of conservation mode, and that's not allowing him to get past Jeremy. What can Jeremy do, though? Because he was a long way back. He was half a minute away from any threat, was Tyson. And that pit has probably given Jeremy maybe a little bit of overcut, but can he, in the grand scheme of things, keep it together and keep that fuel level up? I wish we could see on board what his fuel level is, but we cannot. It does not let us do it. We can't see what it is. Oh, fuel remaining 60, is that correct? I'm not too sure. It's probably generic here on LMU. Let's have a crack and see what it looks like on the Mustang. He's got 58% left does Mr. Tyson Robs. Has that amount gone down? No, it has not. It won't tell us. Ah, bugger. That's annoying. That's annoying. All I can give you, ladies and gentlemen, is the tyres, what they're on, which we can all see there. They're all on the medium compounds for each. And then I can tell you the number of pit stops there between all of them. We've had 3-stopper for Webb. We've had a 1-stopper we had a 2-stopper for Robs and 1 for Talbot, because that is all he needs at this stage. So, yeah, something to definitely think about for the rest of them. Oh, geez, that's incredible. Incredible turn and change of events for this race in the LMGT3 class. Poor old Tyson's copped it for a track cutting, and he's found himself in P2. Talbot's got the lead. 7 minutes and 23 seconds left of this one. Oh, gee, it's getting spicy out there, I can guarantee you. These guys are now racing, that's for sure. Has Tyson got any answer? I'm not too sure if he has. We'll find out, though. We'll see what's going on in the grand scheme of things. It is 45 seconds to Harry Lawrence over De Silva in the lead, after De Silva had to come into the pits. The closest battle between those two is Peter Wall in the hypercar class versus Webbo. Webbo's he's had to come in for a pit stop because he's done a 3-stopper. He's got 21% left, so he's pretty much safe there. And he's only 1 point. No, he's not. What is he? He's 50 seconds away from Eric Chandra. So your lead at the moment: Harry Lawrence, De Silva in second, Chris Fraser in third. He's got enough energy to get to the end, so he'll be stoked with that. Will Fraser? Olsen 21% battery, so they've all got enough to go. Apart from Olive, he'll be cutting it fine there. Although dead set last in the hypercar class, still 10th overall, because everyone else behind him is DNF, so he'll cop some nice points there as well. And it looks like Tyson Robs has well and truly got off the back of Jeremy Talbot. It is now 1.6 seconds away from taking that lead away from Talbot, and he's got all these hypercars going through him at the stage of the race. What can he do? Nothing at this point. He's watching that lead just dissipate in front of him. And Jeremy, this guy, is singing to the high heavens. He's got 5 minutes 50 seconds left. Has he got a pit? That is a big question. Has he got to pit? Oh, I'm not too sure. Moss has just pitted. He's come out into 5th place overall. Has a Lichen, so he's back out on the circuit for his final stop of the evening. And the story of the night so far, one has been Lawrence versus De Silva. Lawrence, the energy whisperer. And then you've got now Peter Wall, really, really close here to the back of Webbo. So this is on like Donkey Kong here. Yeah, incredible. You got Wall there. You got Peter Wall. Then you've got Harry Lawrence coming through on them as a lead pack. Then you've got Jeffries behind them too. So it's now a 4-5-way tussle, and this is won't hurt Harry Lawrence too much. He won't care too far at all. But he's coming to lap these boys who are in the midst of a battle of their own. So what can he do? Is he just going to have to? They're going to let him past, or is I think they are going to let him pass too by the look of it. Harry Lawrence, no, he's going to slot in behind Peter Wall there, just getting out of the way. And I think Harry Lawrence knows that he's got this win done and dusted, although Wall just went way wide and Lawrence up the inside and says, I'm going to lap you. Anyway, son, out of there. Gone do they all go. Jeffries now trying to get back onto this battle as well, because Peter Wall looking very vulnerable here at this stage. Only 0.4 of a second now between this lot. Let's get on to the... oh, just missed it. Let's get on to that camera there and see what Wally has got pace-wise over Jeffries. Onto the front straight. We're 0.5 away from each other. 0.5. It's still 0.5. It's still 0.5 here. It's just increasing ever so slightly. Too far away at this stage for it. The gap between the GD3 class is still 1 second between Robs and Jeremy. 1.2 seconds, in fact. So it's just hovering around that mark here. But look at the pace difference under braking there that they just both got between each other. Did Jeffries and Wall for the final dying minutes of this race. A little bit of excitement coming our way. Coming my way in the comms box as well. Good to have you all in here tonight as well. Fantastic to be around here at the Bahrain circuit on the endurance layout. A really weird sort of section coming up our way here for the rest of them. The outer loop section here now. And then they will come in and do a little bit of a pirouette. Right-hand turn style. Oh, no. Who was that in front of them? That wasn't good at all. I did not see who that was. I cannot see it. I'm sorry. I've lost who it was. Don't tell me that was who I thought it was. No, it wasn't. I thought it was this man, Shawnee Madison, but it wasn't. Sean Jacobs in third place. Gallant effort from him. Tyson Robzo, however, has climbed back slowly here onto the rear end of Talbot. So a little bit of a tussle here for the lead. Going on in the GD3 class. 2 minutes 58 left to go. 2 minute 28 laps times. So they've got 30 seconds, not even 20 seconds to get around and get to the final lap here for them to go around one more time. Because Lawrence has already gone across the field, so they're going to have another couple of laps to go. But it's close now. It's 0.4 of a second between these two. This is now getting spicy here. Indeed, in the fair dinkum department. You can see here what Tyson's looking at. Looking at that BMW, looking ever so tasty. And Talbot's run a bit wide there on the apex. That's going to hurt him down the front straightaway here now. Is he close enough? Tyson Robs for a little bit of a suck. He's 0.2 away. Oh, 100% he's going to have some suck now. It's 1/10. It's ever decreasing, ever so hundredths of a second. Is Talbot going to go defensive here? Is Rob's going to go straight up the inside? I think he is. He's going to take that job easy as you like. No battle put up there from Talbot. Oh, Tyson Robs back into the lead where you rightfully were before, barring that pit stop disaster. But Talbot did not put up a defense move at all. Is he going to go back for the switchback at this stage? Talbot around the outside. Robs has gone defensive. Talbot's on the outside here. So now they're going hammer and tong, but it's too far away there. Tyson Rob's going to defend that line, and Talbot's going to have to go right out to the outside and move away. And that would be Tyson Robs back into the lead in the dying minutes of this one. Holy mackerel, that is the story of the night again. Switch for the lead and now switch back again. Robsy has just conserved the fuel, I reckon, a little bit better and has got the job done. But Talbot unforced errored himself on the final turn of that straight, and that's all the invitation he needed. I would assume that there would have been a little bit of a battle, a bit of defense mastermind sort of thing going on, but oh geez, nah, not the case. And Tyson Robs is in P1 with 1:13 left to go. Where is Harry Lawrence on the field? He's up the inside, the inner sanctum of the Bahrain GP circuit. Is he going to get around before that timer hits the euro? Is he just going to go, 2 hours is enough? I'm just going to hold off for the end and not go around one more time here. We'll find out here at the dying moments of this one. Geez, it's getting close. Peter Wall and Jeffries are really, really close as well, because that is Sam Jacobs there. Shawnee Jacobs, sorry. Right in the way at the wrong point of time for Peter Wall. Can he get the job done? Over it, I'm not too sure. Eric Chandra has gone way off down to the distance. He's sailed away from Jeffries, so no threat in front for actually any battling there. This is the one we want to look at, but it's still Talbot half a second away here from Tyson Robs. Where is Harry Lawrence? Is he going to get around with 20 seconds to go? Oh, I don't know if he will. He might just get there or he might not. Before the timing tower runs out, he could go around here. Yes, he's definitely. This is going to be the end of the race, ladies and gentlemen. This is the man, the whisperer of the energy department, has absolutely come through with a sensational or simsational driving event tonight here. Once again, that is it. That is 0 minutes remaining here. This man, Harry Lawrence, is going to come around and take the checkered flag here for the 2 hour with absolute style, loving every moment, flashes the lights as he crosses the line. That is job done for him. Fantastic driving, Harry. That is an absolute masterclass of absolute devastating proportions there over this man, De Silva. You can see how far away he is. He was 2 corners away, which is about a kilometre up the road. And that is job done for him. Tyson Robbs versus Talbot is still on here. This is for a final lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. They're not going to go around again. And I think Tyson Robbs is going to hold on for the win in the hypercar class for this stage of the circuit. Let's see what they can get job done, because they're through the middle of the sector here. But Lawrence is your winner. We've got to keep an eye on this one for the final time around here. We've got Jeremy Talbot right there up his clacker. You can see the difference there. They're absolutely racing this thing hammer and tong, braking mid-corner 3 or 4 times. There was Robsy just getting that ass out of the Mustang settled. Can Talbot do anything? He's trying everything here at this point in time. He's got the car on the slide. He's got the ass wagging. Tyson Robbs is trying to keep the car settled there as well. Glastonbury in front, just looking in his rear vision mirror, knowing that this is the blue flag scenario. He has to get out of the way, and he does so. Oh, geez, this is incredible. Talbot, right to the end. What has he got job in the way of these guys? Has he got the job done for second? Can he get the job done for first? It's 1 second now away from Tyson Robbs versus Jeremy, and it looks like this could be all going Tyson's way for the GT3 win in this one for the final time. Very squirrely there on exit. Oh, that's a very hairy department there for Tyson. He gathered it up nicely just at the point of not. Half the interval, though, did Tyson Robbs. You would have seen that, and a half shut himself as well. Oh, that's hairy stuff. What can they do? Can they get to the back end of this race? You can see, oh, geez, who was that? That was Olive just getting in the way, but then out of the way, seeing this battle is the one for the lead. But I think Tyson Robbs has got the chockies at this stage over poor old Jeremy Talbot. Had the lead, then gave it up as easy as you like, and Tyson's gone straight through. Maybe a bit of sportsmanship as well. But it looks like this man, Tyson Robbs, is going to take the win overall in the LMGT3 class. He's got 1 quarter to navigate here. A sensational drive from him, 38 seconds up the road at some point. Had to come in through a pit stop for a weird cutting penalty as well. Did a drive through, and he's managed to keep it out in front, and he's going to take the chockies in the LMGT3 class. Congratulations there to Tyson Robbs. Well done to you, Jeremy. Classic stuff from you as well in the grand scheme of things. That was a beautiful race there. Over, done, out, sold, ladies and gentlemen. That is the event for tonight. Let's get all the timing towers off the board and get everyone else off it. These are your winners. Harry Lawrence takes out P1 in the hypercar class. Tyson Robbs take out P1 in the LMGT3 class for the inaugural round of Lmu's ASA Pro Series event here tonight, hosted by yours truly here at Sensational TV. Nick De Silva in the hypercar class takes second place, 30 seconds off the grid. Chris Fraser in third. Olsen and Chandler take out the top 5 with Jeffries, Wall, Vintner, Olef, Matt Webb is the final position getter out of the DNFers there. He DNF'd in the end, did Matt Webb. That's interesting, but still gets 10th place. Robbs and Talbot fought it to the very end there in the LMGT3 class. Classic stuff. Shawnee Jacobs in third place. Sean Madison in 4th. Moss in 5th. He'll be happy with that. Glastonbury's first time out. 6th place. Rando and Payno doing a very good job. And Benny Collins, the last one of the finishers in the GT3 class, with Nick Hill and Greg Brock and Miles Johnston all DNFing from that one. In the hypercar class, Latanzio, Sutherland and Hoisman, or Floppy in the chat, all DNFing from that one. It's been great to have you. Thank you for sticking around. Thanks for all the compliments. Thank you, Rory, for the kind words. Tyson Robbs, the GOAT, said Alex K. Well, yep, absolutely. And both classes doing very, very well. The Eagles have landed. We've got Mustang and Cadillac. The Americans are flying at the moment, says Risky Affair. Beautiful stuff there as well. Thanks for sticking around tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you with me. I've been Zacco Rowley tonight, and it's been a really, really good event to kick off the season for the ASA Lmu Pro Series event. 26 cars, and then there were 20, well, there were 19 at the end. 26 and 19. But thanks for sticking around here tonight. If you haven't already, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and to the channel. It goes a long way here for me. But as for us here at Sensational TV, it's bye for now. I'm Zach O'Reilly. You're not. As always, keep it flat out.